Hello, everyone! Blue Star Saber here with.
Hey guys, Mangareader.
And, well, Lucky Chi was here was here a second ago, but now, as you can see, he's
Ray
disappeared.
having some problems.
Hold on, let me just see, let me just message him quickly. You
Pretty sure he'll
in.
be back on eventually.
Okay, yes. We've got Space saying, "I am here." Hello, Space. As Space is for the last few chapter reviews has joined us for My Hero Academia, the final chapter, chapter 300. And speaking of the devil, Lucky Chi, you have returned.
Yes, Lucky Rave is back, and I did say hold on before you started recording, but
I didn't hear you, Lucky Chi.
Hold on. What did you say? Hold on.
I was gonna say hold on. I'm gonna hop off the Discord, and because the streamer I think was connected to Discord and I was being stupid, so I decided let me maneuver around somewhere else.
But yeah, we're here to talk about chapter 430 of My Hero Academia, which I think is titled My Hero Academia.
Very fitting, actually. Very fitting.
But basically, the final chapter, it's finally here, people.
Is it the final chapter though? Is it like with
For
that
now it is.
with that page count? Sheesh.
For now it is.
That will be some stuff we'll get into. Also, we've got Space saying here, "Oh boy, I'm not ready for this review, especially because I'm a ending defender." And Farad Khan says, "Hi, how's everyone been doing? Been looking forward to this for a while." Let's see, you and me, Space.
Space. I'll just say this: you'll be surprised with what my views are going to be. You'll be surprised.
Yeah. No, let's see if you're still there in the listening into the audience, as I can only see one, but which I assume is Farad Khan. But let's see. So let's see. But yeah, the final chapter is here after 10 years. The final. Let's see. Oh yeah, Space saying people hates descending, but yeah. But after 10 long years, the final chapter is here. Let's see. People were wondering when it was going to happen, but it finally happened. Let's see.
Can I just say, I often thought about My Hero Academia ending on its 10th year anniversary for like years. I'll be
Years.
I'll be the one to come out and say, being out of this entire group that got into My Hero Academia way before an anime was even announced, I was like, I wonder, could we end on around the 10th year anniversary? And then look where we are now.
Yeah, it's
Where are we?
let's see, the 10th. Yeah, and in many ways, Lucky Chi, you seem to be correct. We've also got Mr. Sparling saying hello. I know these two from the. I also know this guy from the Walkie Talkie podcast. So hello, Mr. Spiraling. But yeah, let's see. Let's see. So but yeah. So yeah, I always had a feeling that My Hero Academia could potentially be one of those long-running manga series. And to be fair, with this current generation of manga, it is actually in terms of that series, the longest running.
The only remaining one that's left is Black Clover. That's it.
Yeah, the only one that's it's even close to like it's competing, but even then, Black Clover has moved from Weekly Shonen Jump to Shonen Giga, which, by the way, 2 chapters have recently come out of it. What's he dealing with? Like no one.
Are great chapters, but for anyone wondering about Black Clover, side tangent, they were amazing. I love those 2 chapters. Very amazing.
Yeah.
Without going into context.
Yeah. Let's see, but yeah, it's such a shame that we only get like let's see, a few chapters, a few months now. But yeah, but Black Clover.
All I'm to say is, I wish 4Life was still here. That's the only gripe I have about this.
Yeah, let's see. Space says, don't forget Jujutsu Kaisen. True to an extent, but from my understanding, Jujutsu Kaisen is ending, and it's only been like 6 years, so I wouldn't say it's had the same length as My Hero and Black Clover.
I mean, volume. Well, that's close.
Let's see, but yeah. No, arguably, yeah, Jujutsu Kaisen's arguably the third longest manga. Most of these manga have been pretty much running for the best 4 or 5 years, but
that's not a bad thing.
well, no, but it's for the longest time. It seems Shonen or Shueisha doesn't seem to be having any long-running manga series like you had with the big three these days.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So,
well,
and in some ways, sorry, go on, Mangareader.
I was going to say One Piece still outliving everything right now.
Oh,
Exactly.
Yeah, and Koei did a nice little tribute with his cover with like drawing Smoker, which
That's what Oda did. Oda contributed to that.
Yeah, because Koei did that long ago for like a fan art for like the 23rd volume of One Piece. So.
That's so much actually when you think about it.
Naruto passes the torch on to My Hero, and My Hero still ends before One Piece.
Yeah.
Now you have to wonder what's going to be the next thing that passes.
Is it going to end before One Piece?
Let's see, but yeah, so One Piece manages to outlive everything, and
look, we're at a point right now where Hiro Mashima has finished 3 series back to back to back. That's already saying a lot.
Yeah, and from my understanding, rumors has it that he's about to do a 4th manga.
Oh no, that's 100% guarantee he's doing a 4th one.
Well, I'll give this. It's Hiro Mashima's wanting to break the record of most manga by a mangaka. Or at least with modern manga.
I guess it doesn't matter how you how many chapters or volumes you post, just so long as you have a completed manga series, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Let's see, Space. Isn't One Piece reaching its final stage? Yes, it's on its final saga now, but let's see. But given, let's see, there's still a lot to cover, and also how much people, how many more chapters that, there's like publication schedule currently. Some people that are expecting One Piece to end, and the earliest I'm seeing is some are predicting 2032.
I'm thinking some people have been thinking 2027 just because 30th anniversary.
Yeah, but I think with the way maybe if Oda was pacing like he was in the early years, possibly. But I think with the 30 chapter, like with him doing like 30 chapters a year and some of the pacing things, I think it's more likely it's going to be 2032.
I'll go a step further, 2037.
You think the 40th anniversary?
Mm-hmm. I'm going to say right now, we have 13 more years. I'm going to say that, and people are going to be like, Jesus.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to be the case. I think it's going to be 2032, the latest. But
are you in denial? Damn.
I'm not in denial.
Blues in denial.
No, let's see. No, I'll talk about. Let's see. I'll talk more about that later. But let's see. Coming back to My Hero Academia, there was a nice little cover thing by Oda. But yeah, My Hero's gone on for like 10 years, and now after 10 years of publication, its final chapter. Let's see. The reactions are in. Some love it, some hate it. How will we feel about it? That is going to be one of the main things that's going to be talking about. So I'll be very curious to see how people end up reacting to like how this chat reacts to like the chapter. But before we get in the chapter, there's some things I want to comment on. Particularly, I think let's see for the first, like of course the cover chapter, but of course there's also one other thing to note is the weekly shonen cover for My Hero Academia that came out that week. But instead, I believe let's see, oops, hold on. Damn it, I accidentally clicked something, did not need that link. You got like the weekly shonen link, which you've got all the current shonen protagonists of all the manga. But some people have made a little joke about this, is the fact that it looks like Luffy is pushing Midori past him as he reaches for the front. Have you seen this cover, Luckychi?
I have.
Yes, Space. I'm going to read the official translations. I'm just looking at the unofficial translation to look at that weekly Shonen Jump cover. But it's like, it's kind of sad, right? It's like My Hero Academia is ending, and you have Luffy the center of like the cover. of the Shonen Weekly.
I mean, did Naruto get the center stage of his final chapter cover? I don't think so.
I think so, didn't he?
No, didn't. He didn't. I remember.
Well, I know Oda also had or was it? Maybe it was Kishimoto that drew the two of them eating ramen.
Let's see. Oda had Luffy. Luffy eating ramen with Naruto. Although, granted, Naruto was covered. Let's see, by some things, so you didn't actually see him. But let's see. For My Hero Academia, Oda did like the smoker cover. I don't think he did anything for Bleach.
He says
Probably not.
Space says Hiro Koshi doesn't seem to mind that Luffy pushes Izuku away. That's fair enough. But I just wanted to do that little joke there because I think you got some people commenting on it. But yeah. But let's see. My Hero Academia's mangaka is a big fan of One Piece, and it's one of the works that inspired him. Now, granted, My Hero Academia is more inspired by Naruto, but I think in terms of like planning structure, I think Koei might take more inspiration from Oda, since most people regard Oda as like the master planner when it comes to manga. So yeah.
Dude probably made a book before even drawing his manga.
But yeah. So anyway, time for the actual chapter. Though before that, we've got like the double colored page spread in which you have all of Class 1A along with All Might and Arizawa. Let's see, including I believe Shinso being added to it with Ayama there, and you also see Invisible Girl there, fully ritzy faced. They're all seemingly running with Midoriya in like ritzy, mostly covering half the page, looking back as they're all running together, sort of like all running towards the end, if you will. So how do you guys feel about this final double page spread?
it's a good question.
What do you mean? It's the norm.
Yeah.
It is kind of funny to see All Might in his muscle form drawn with actual eyes instead of basically the black with pupils.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say funny, but it's interesting as it is.
I got what you mean.
You got it. Thanks. I'm glad you got it.
I can't say Blue got it, but I know I did.
Let's see. Sorry, what?
Exactly.
Let's see. What was you saying, Mangareader? So I was just reading the comments.
All I said was it was interesting to see All Might drawn with actual eyes.
Oh yeah.
For a change.
I did kind of note. I did, and also didn't notice that. I will admit, but yeah. So we've now got an idea of what his eyes look like. Blue.
Right. Wasn't well? They've always been blue. It was the irises.
Sorry, but yeah. Okay, yeah. Sorry, I forgot about the movies. My apologies there.
You forgot about the movie.
You forgot?
No, I did not. I forgot that they were shown blue in the movies.
You hear this, guys? Blue Star forgot about the damn movies.
I never forgot about the dang movies, you son of a gun.
Haven't they always been blue though? Anyway, even with his irises being not irises, but
yeah. I guess
the whites of his eye. Yeah.
I guess I just don't really pay too much attention to it.
No one knows what eye color looks like. Fine.
Okay.
It doesn't matter what the iris is or whatever you want to call them. The pupils.
Yeah, it's nice.
Regardless, he's got white instead of black. Okay, are we happy?
Yeah, okay, yeah. It's nice to see the pupils. Anyway, it's a nice little cover. I think it's probably fitting that you have like a cover like this. Let's see, for like the last chapter of My Hero Academia. Let's see. But yeah. No, granted, it seems like Koei has decided not to do everything in color like Naruto did with its final chapter, though to be fair, I'm probably somewhat kind of grateful of that, I guess.
You are? Damn.
Or do you not want to have everything in color? Would you prefer everything in color?
Okay, well, here's the thing. If it was in color, in the volume version, if it came to the volume release, and I mean this for like anything, right? If you're gonna have a chapter in color, not just for weekly, I mean like for the volume release too, make the final chapter freaking color.
Oh yeah, because Naruto's coloring just went just like a different shade of gray.
No, like really, like even if you look at the final volume of Naruto, it's like it's not really in color. It's just that.
Well, you just want colored spreads, huh? For the final chapter, huh? Colored.
Let's see. Anyway, time to now begin the summary after such a long, delay. As
Hasn't been that long though. Think about it.
Anyway, let's see. A narration says it's already been destroyed, but depends on what people decide to do tomorrow. As Moridori says the words that he said long ago, saying, "People are not born equal. We each take shape differently, which leads us to care about others." As we see UA, and we cut to its staff room, as we see Midoriya's scar hands writing some notes. As he says, it's because one's mind and body, unlike anyone's else, that they were drawn to others in search for common ground. And then we see Koto now fully a UA student, as well as that scarred kid from like the last chapter that was, helped by that elderly lady that made the mistake of not helping Shigaraki, also being a UA student, showing that he's kind of like walking the path that Shigaraki might have been able to if someone came out to help him. But anyway, Koto seems to call Midoriya, tries to call out Midoriya by his name, but then goes like, Deku-sensei, asking about the meeting for the practical exercise for the afternoon. As you get more of the narration saying, this was the truth about society I learned at age 17. And you got Midoriya, now revealed to be a UA teacher, saying, at the bus stop, it will also be a lesson how to get to USJ. As then we get a double-page spread montage of, Midoriya coming home with his mom, doing exams, like some of the other heroes doing their hero work, like the Rabbit Girl, Mount Lady,
AKA Blue's waifu.
Oh boy.
If I was to pick a character from My Hero Academia to be the waifu, Mount Lady, because she's a full-on adult hero, Luckychi.
I was leading the gaunt.
But anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, we get we see Endeavor with all his sidekicks pushed around by a wheelchair, and then we see other montages of like All Might helping a bunch of elderly, helping appears to be Gran Torino with the school nurse, Midoriya and Bakugo taking exams. We see Class 1A and Class 2A and Class 2B doing some sports together. I'm assuming the next sports festival. Let's see, the comic book, I believe, or the novel of the League of Villains by Spinner. Let's see, we got Koto and Eri, I think, joining the same school together, I believe. Ayazawa and President Mike praying to, I think, their friend Kurogiri's grave now, so I think it's implied that he died off screen. Let's see, you have Tokoyami with Hawks talking. Don't forget the dialogues. I'm just saying what everything one's doing before the dialogues, because I'm just going to say bits and pieces. And then you have like a bunch of Class UA students with, I have no idea who that girl is, but I'm assuming it's possibly the girl from like the first movie.
Melissa?
Yeah, Melissa. Maybe there. You get Shoji and Animask, getting handshakes from like other heteromorph quirk users as you get a celebration there. You get Bakugo doing weight training and his fellow classmates cheering him on. Midoriya next to a rock in the snow. I can't tell who this black-haired dude is. This guy reading the book. Do you know who that is?
Are we sure that's not just the police officer?
Is that the police officer? Luckychi there?
I'm still here.
Ooh.
No, I'm here. I'm just I was the alarm my clock was going off. So
Okay,
I put myself on mute. But
okay,
yeah, as far as who the guy could be, I think it is oh my god, what was his name?
Takayami or something? Suka. I can always forget this guy's name.
Tsukauchi.
So that you think that's Sukaochi there?
It's the only one that makes sense to me.
I'm more so signed because of freaking vigilantes, but that's where my rant for him comes, just from that. But
Okay, but yeah, you've got Ida doing the UA graduation ceremony thing. Let's see, many people. Let's see, the members of Class 1A, 2A, now probably 3A, graduating. Then Ida doing some sort of joke with Bakugo, and I think the copycat guy, Momoa, doing some explosion entrance thing, kind of like similar to I think what Lumenian did like a chapter or two ago. Oh yeah, he says that looks like Tosu Kakashi, so okay, yeah. But while we get these panels, you have Midoriya holding onto the flames of All for One, and then slowly disappear as the double page spread. And the dialogue, Betsy, goes like this, saying, "There's no denying on that day I felt everyone's supports, hopes, and prayers. Even now, as those voices encourage me, it's spurring a thought for someone else in the first step towards herodom. Then on that day, everyone was a great hero. I was hardly cut out for the dream I held, but I came true for me anyway. And the tale that began when my body took action before I could think comes to an end along with the ember of All for One. And in that case, why am I still writing this? Because there are more pages yet to come." So that's basically
more pages yet to come, huh, Deku?
Midoriya's just pretty much saying how his quirk has just slowly faded as you got a montage of all those different heroes and other side characters we followed throughout the story. So, yeah. It's one for and not all for one. Yeah, okay, my mistake. I sometimes get them mixed up. Let's see.
Even when they're written right in front of you.
Right?
Okay. Let's see. To be fair, Luckychi, you've made this mistake as well a few times.
When it first started, I haven't lately.
It's easy to do it when we don't do it, but when it's written right in front of you, then there's less of an excuse.
Mm-hmm.
All right, fine. I made a mistake. But yeah, but basically, Midoriya's just narrating about how he lost. Let's see, the embers of One for All disappearing as you saw a montage of like his remainder days at school with UA until like graduation. And then we get and now let's see a big speech text saying 8 years later, as we got a midterm school with a teacher saying how high school's around the corner for this lot and telling them all to fill in their careers forms by next week. You get some tan student saying that it's got to be a UA course for him, but another good dude says that he's going to be in the support items, so all the rage these days, saying that I'm shooting to get hired at Lightly Labs. And it's revealed that Hatsume has that's the design agency where that Brainiac Hatsume works, revealing that she's become quite the success after UA. And we even have that third year student that competed against Nejiro in the beauty pageant, seemingly working for them. But she seems to comment that Hatsume is not really bathing that often. And another female student talks about how she'll follow in the footsteps of Dr. Ryo Yoshida and become a fire physician who can cure the incurable. You can count on that. In other words, that chicken or rooster looking like doctor that got some of the rioters from like Spinner's group to calm down. And then we've got, I believe, either this cat or fox or dog, like Quirk used to saying, I want to join Gel Inc., which went down in history during the Cyber War 5 years back. Girl bosses who can code are too awesome. As we see that Gentle and La Brava have become quite the tech whizzes, if you will. And then we got the one talking about want to go to UA first, saying, wait, it's asking this other student, saying, wait, you're shooting for the hero track? Saying, hey, don't, for like this mushroom, this spotted head kid saying, hey, don't peek. With him saying, it's going to be tough given your quirk. And it's just revealed that the person that's been talking about this saying, hey, I mean, come on, die. And he goes like, well, you never know. So it seems like the spotted head dude is called Die.
That's his name is Die.
Okay, yeah. Let's see. Space says, in the end, Gentle's dreams come true. Let's see. But yeah. So as you get people saying, especially since the villain emergence rate is on the downturn, which means that they're cutting back on the number of pro heroes, and they're looking at an era where only the uber powerful can be heroes.
Mm-hmm.
With Die commenting about how, yeah, Space has commented, unlike also notice how unlike everyone in Chapter 1, not everyone wants to be the hero. Yeah, I was going to make comments on that later. But yeah. Let's see. We comment about how when everyone's little, every one of them wants to go nuts about the heroes, particularly like All Might, Endeavor, and Beast Genus. And then, of course, let's see, Deku, Great Explosion, Murder God, Dynamite. So he kept that long nickname. And Shoto wanted to be them. And it seems like Shoto kept his nitty name as hero name as Shoto. With him going like, I get it. I'm the only one who never grew up. So when I'm feeling unsure of myself, I always come here. As we cut back to when he was a kid looking at the All Might statue before the Paramore Liberation War, saying, let's see, remember when he said, ready to try your best as the first day year, Die? And he's going, as we see him come back to look at the statue of All Might. And then we cut, I think, what appears to be UA, where we get an announcement saying, Tentacle, you've done remarkable work since your debut as a pro. You devoted your efforts towards finding peaceful resolutions to conflicts surrounding discrimination based on the body type, which is still a concern in rural areas. In recognition of your achievement and influence, you're the latest recipient of the Amara Peace Prize. As we see, well, like I said, Tentacoil, fully grown hero, a lot more muscular. He seems to have grown his hair out a bit. Now it has a little bit of a ponytail. And we also see a bit of an anima, also a bit dirty in the background, clapping, and his spiky bits have also grown out a bit. And we also got that candle gluey-like hero, also in the background, seemingly joining them work, as Tentacle says, I'm dedicating the honor to those who joined the uprising 8 years ago. All I've done to stand atop the resolve that they demonstrated to the world, nothing more, as he remembers what happened that day. And then you got an announcer saying, next up in Team Up news, it's revealed that Ingenium, Froppy, Creati, and Iravity, Urark and Ida, have been touring elementary schools nationwide, revealing that them have become a team and that they've been, as due to the recent decline of villains, they've seen emergent rates of broadening the role of heroes that play in society. And a part of that expansion is the plan to spearhead by Uravities to expand access to quirk counseling, which is thought to be the most essential innovative of all of this day and age, which basically,
shout out to Ochako.
Okay.
Basically using her experience with Toga to try and help deal with people with like having issues with their quirks and the mental things that can affect them in society. So yeah, we've basically seen that with that. Pretty much Ida's joined the girls in a team to help people in that kind of situation. Which I suppose the reason why you have Ida joining is to prevent other villains like Stain coming along. And then we see Iri-chan, with a bunch of musical instruments on her back with a bunch of schoolgirls, showing that she's joined, I think, either a midterm school or just a regular high school that implies that she's taking on a career in music after the whole last chapter where we saw her playing with, I believe, Jiro. Space comments, so cool, many of the villain's issues are being dealt with. Agreed. Anyway, we cut to an adult Azara who seems to have had a bit of a haircut, asking Midori if he's seen, that fact that his old pal has dropped a few notches down the billboard chart again. With Midori relaying, oh wait, Bakugo. As we feel that the reason Bakugo's dropped is him going like, who said you could get a close-up of my face? I ain't your entertainment. You want to die, pal? And it's just like shocking Midori that Bakugo is still doing this and saying, even Aizawa was trying to clean up his act, and it's like, despite all of Aizawa's work, he has no helping to do that. As a result, Todoroki was always going to take the lead now. But as it's revealed that he's been out there good day and night, saying that he might be a little awkward when he interacts with his fans, but he treats them all with equality and respect. And at this point, no one really thinks of him as being Endeavor's son these days, and would pretty much see him as his own hero. Oh. Space says, even in the end, it looks like Bakugo isn't becoming the number one hero. Well, at least in terms of popularity. But yeah. And Midori says, you know how Totogata-senpai skyrocket to the top of the charts, surpassing Kurumi Woods and Mount Lady along the way. So it's revealed that Lumenium has become the number one hero. And apparently Monoma and Hinonuki are matching that energy and coming up fast. Are those the members of the big three, or are those other members from different schools or classes, Luckychi?
I think they're different classes.
Let's see. With Faradkhan says, I say differently given the weekly poll. Okay. But yeah. I'm just trying, there's just so many characters of My Hero Academia. I'm just trying to remember which is which.
And yet he remembers Naruto.
Oh yeah, Faradkhan. Well, to be fair, Naruto characters are names are easier to remember.
Yeah, Mirio is Togata.
Let's see, but yeah. Oh yeah, even the other day, Togata-senpai joked about quaking in his boots. Oh yeah. Manoa is that copy guy. Oh, okay, I just pronounced his name wrong. So it seems like he's also in the top hero thing, and also Hana, let's see, as Space says, yeah, class 1B. You know, I'm just going to quickly check class 1B. Let's see how I'm just clicking on that. Nagaka. Oh, yes, the Juzo Honoki is the mud hero.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that one that was also, got through official recommendations. So some of the members of Class 1B have also made it to the top. So there's that as well.
Yes.
Let's see. Oh, yeah. And Toga has pretty much made a joke about them quaking in his booties about how fast they catch up. With Arazara asking, do you miss it? Let's see, implying the hero work from Midori. But he's got like, the thing is, when you and Fura Senpai were chatting all those years ago, a thought occurred to him that I might be quirkless again. But as long as I made use of my experience to encourage others, well, there's something kind of awesome about that. And saying that he's pretty awesome right now, maybe. But Aizawa says, let's see, I remember Tetsu, Kendo, and Momonoa. Fair enough, but let's see. But yeah, Aizawa says, at the very least, he thinks he should be stricter with his students. With him saying that, telling him that it matters. Saying that these days, the types of kids who make it here to learn from us are basically given a golden ticket to be future heroes. Saying that they need to be tough, keep them humble so they don't get big heads, understood. But Midoriya kind of points out how you were kind of nice to us, though. But to be fair, he didn't expel them, but at the very least, he was still harsh on them at times. But then you get Midoriya then walking, thinking about ever since he started working at school. It seems like our time never seems to line up with, let's see. So it seems like despite everything that's happened, he's had a hard time trying to catch up with everyone. And as we see him walking by, we see some advertisements of let's see, many of like the heroes. In fact, I think we've got a statue of let's see all of Class 1A somewhere of Midoriya's working.
We do. It's there.
Let's see, sorry, what?
I said the statue's there. You have
Yeah.
to.
You saw it, eh? You finally found it.
We've got a poster of Tokoyami saying Dark Wings could be yours, seemingly promoting products, which I thought Heroes would stop doing after this, but oh well. You got my man Kurishima's be rising. Yes, we see him on the TV. As let's see, and also I think I'm not sure if we also maybe got an ad for Dwitzy Invisible Girl, but we got something for Dazzling Transaction C or something. But yeah, but we see that Red Riot is extremely popular with the male demographic with his chivalry. As we apparently we got it seems like he's got a movie or a documentary about his origin story. As you got a bunch of boys saying, "Look, it's red. Look, it's red," and he's going like, "Yeah." It's saying, "Yeah, unbreakable." I think saying his catchphrase. Midoriya is just smiling on at the little boys playing as he says, "I do get a real kick out of seeing everyone's success, and when I get to thinking about our time in school, I tend to come here." As Midoriya just watches one of the boys falling and then remembers how he ran like he did with Bakugo years ago. But he catches the boy, but you got another kid, let's see, die earlier, who tried to catch but tripped, and then some of the circles come out of his hair, I think. With the young boy saying, "Close call, thanks, mister," bowing his head and then leaving by. But Midoriya's going to quickly check, and Luckychi has disappeared again.
Oh.
But yeah, it's going like close calls, thanks, mister, and you got like Die then just realizing that it's Deku Izuku Midoriya. Wow, you really exist. Holy cow. Midoriya's just like being all just giving him that and feeling a bit embarrassed about the situation. With Midoriya seemingly chatting to the guy, saying, "Oh, you're in high school now, and Luckychi has returned to us."
Don't worry, I'm still here. I just have to.
Are you Luckychi?
I got intercepted by another call, so that's what happened.
Yeah. Anyway, Dai talks about how the changing times are fast, and that in some ways, someone like him, who can't really keep up anymore, since he's got a really wimpy quirk, super wimpy quirk, compared to like some of his classmates.
Mm-hmm.
As he goes on about, that's why he's visiting All Might and Statue and ask him if he can become a hero like all of you did. Which gets Midoriya thinking about like his past, or like let's see, saying like, "Can I become a hero like you, All Might?" Smiling at that, and then Midoriya goes into one of his mini little analysis for one last time, going how about his quirk allows him to throw those saucer-like objects from your hair. Thinking that a hair-based quirk, taking a cue from Mineta, that should be workable. You could stack them from boosted strength, and maybe even change their size. Seems quite versatile. Which creeps out and Dai, saying, "Are you and Betsy encouraging him at the same time?"
I think it's funny how he still maintains that even as an adult.
Yeah. So like oops. Oops, I kind of scrolled by quickly. What the? Hold on, let me just I need to refresh I just need to refresh this quickly. Sometimes it is your scrolling can be annoying. Let's see, but yeah. So the narration continues, says, "Ever since my own dream came true, it's been my turn to plant dreams in others." With Midoriya saying, "You'll be fine. After all, didn't you make an effort to reach out with a helping hand just now?" And tells like Dai that he can become a hero, as we see the statue of All Might surrounded by statues of all different, just various random citizens. Let's see, sort of symbolizing just how far a hero society has evolved, where like it's also now the people beside the heroes. As Midoriya gives him a pat on the shoulder, as Dai looks at Midoriya in a wall, or as Midoriya smiles, saying, Do your best, kid. And he says, I'd be lying if I claimed I didn't miss it all. But as long as I can still inspire and encourage others, then I say that this is still the tale of how we became great heroes. As you get My Hero Academia saying the end as you see his hand flow a petal, but All Might grabs the end and says, You're late, kid! Breaking the fourth wall in a sense.
Thank freaking God.
Oh.
Yes. All Might
Oh.
coming in to save the ending, if you will.
That would have been bad.
But yeah. Let's see, Midoriya said he would have met All Might at the airport if he had known. But All Might says he's got a surprise for you. Let's see, Farad Khan says the fourth wall break. Oh boy. As let's see. Midoriya says, "Oh, is it a roll scroll?" Which Midoriya thinking like a teacher. All Might saying the data obtained from the battle between him and All for One 8 years ago apparently opened up all sorts of exciting possibilities. So they tell me, saying just as quirks themselves grow and deepen, so does technology. And you've mastered using multiple quirks at once. So I want to give you, want you out there giving us more data. Let's see, Midoriya's thinking, this must have cost a fortune, saying he can't, saying his overseas friend and young Hatsumi came together to create this, and the project was funded by your old chums from Class 8, led by Bakugo as the suit starts to transform. Midoriya realizes what is happening, saying, don't try to hide it, your body still has a way of leaping into the action, right? As All Might says, take this to heart, kid. You've also earned this power, fair and square. As Midoriya gets all teary-eyed, then starts smiling. As he says, all of us, for all time. As you hear Bakugo saying, come on, Deku. Let's see, with Hawk saying, more time to kill than ever, I wonder. Saying that, as he gives a phone call saying, traffic's all blocked up because of a landslide at Ward Star Road. Requesting
War Star, huh? Come on, Koa. You can't be that. You can't be that obvious now. War Star Road? Come on, man.
Yes. Koa and his Star Wars reference to the very end.
I mean, look, Dagobah, Tatooine, Camino, Agbar. Come on, guys. There's a trend here.
A trend?
But yeah. You get requesting heroes who can respond as Midoriya seemingly looks on what appears to him be the ghost of Shigaraki as Midoriya looks on. As then you get, let's see, a double page spread of Midoriya with all the members of class. Let's see, 1A, also Ayama among them, all now full grown adults. Let's see, some of them a bit more obvious than others, I will say. To be fair, Uraraka doesn't look like she's aged a day, if you ask me. Just her hair's gone longer.
I mean, in that shot, yeah. I think it's more noticeable, like, when you see the other one.
But pretty much you got, let's see, all of class 1A charging forward to help that hero thing, as Midoriya says, this is the tale of how we all keep reaching out to help for all time, ending the chapter of My Hero Academia. And now that that's done...
Ending the story, essentially, of My Hero Academia. The end!
Let's see, yes, the end. So, guys, overall thoughts. What do we make of this chapter?
I'll let you both speak. I'll save my thoughts for the end.
How could you? What's wrong with you? I don't know.
Let's see, Space says, take this to heart, kid. You've also earned this power fair and square. The same words All Might said to Izuku in Chapter 2 when he gave him All for One. Yep. And he says, I like this ending, 8 out of 10. Well, for me, in terms of endings, is it good? Is it bad? Let's see, for me, when I first read this ending, I thought of that one joke in The Simpsons when Homer asked Marge, is this a good ending or happy ending or sad ending? She said, it's an ending.
It's an ending. It's true.
Yeah, for me, this ending is neither great nor is it terrible.
It's like in the middle.
It's like in the middle.
Okay.
I might have had more vitriol later, but obviously that didn't come to pass now. But I don't know. If you want to go first, Blue, then I'll go, and then I'll let Chi do his crazy thing.
I think we'll let you go first, Margarita.
How dare you? I knew this would happen.
Shots fired.
Let's see. All right. You want me to?
I
go
don't care.
Oh, okay, fine. I'll go first since I'm the host. Okay.
I'll host.
Just not with the most. Because he is
Oh.
cursed, people.
Okay. I do like how Midoriya is a teacher. I figured, like, if he wasn't going to be a hero, let's see, a teacher seems like a very fitting thing to do. Space says, here's one negative thing people try to talk about. It's that Izuku's friends leave him, but that isn't true at all. Yeah, I'll get to that in a bit. But yeah, Midoriya, the thing is, Midoriya, it's like, it's not that they didn't leave him behind. It's just they didn't have time to all get up together until that final page spread. So arguably they've all stayed in touch, especially the members of Class 1A, all trying to help fund, like, see that powered suit for, like, Midoriya. The third kind of saying the ending is good, but there's some issues. The fourth wall break, not meeting up, and the way the reveal of the suit happened. But yeah. I'll say this. I do like that Midoriya ended up being like a teacher, because I think if he wasn't going to be a hero, I think a teacher would probably be the thing that he would go to help try and inspire other heroes. So, help try and pass on the next generation. I even like the fact that Kota is one of his students who's come a long way from hating heroes, just like hating the profession of heroes because how his parents died, to now becoming a student that aims to be a hero, in a sense, following the footsteps of his parents, and also his own personal hero who he idolized is Deku, who is now also his teacher. So in many ways, you've got that situation. So I do like that. I do like the fact that you got like Midoriya having a very professional relationship with Aizawa, and them just like commenting on like the fact that and them about of like the going ons with their students and all that stuff. I do like how Aizawa says, be a bit stricter, but it's Midoriya. He's going to be the nice teacher, unlike Aizawa. So I do like that. Let's see. I do like how you've got that. Let's see. Granted, I will admit, I was a bit surprised that spotted-headed young boy Dai would end up being the boy that Midoriya says you can be a hero to. I did not expect him to have a major role. I just thought it was just some random kid. But it seems Koei was planning something with him. So
you know what it reminds me of? It kind of gives me and this is going the Ultimate Spider-Man route here, but like it kind of reminds me of like how you see Miles briefly before like what happens to Peter. So
really,
like
I didn't really see that.
You didn't see Miles in the Ultimate Spider-Man comics like before he debuted?
No, I did not see that.
What?
Huh?
You call yourself a Spider-Man fanboy? Damn.
No, Luckychi, I don't religiously read Ultimate Spider-Man. But okay, which issue is this? I'm just curious.
Ultimate Spider-Man. Yeah, it's true. I don't read that one too much either.
Yeah.
See, so is it what like is it like in the death of Ultimate Spider-Man? Is it prelude to the death of Ultimate Spider-Man?
I gotta remember. It's been a while. I remember.
How would you do that and then not know?
All I remember is he briefly shows up. I don't remember. It's been a long time since I've read it, but I just remember having a case. Let me see.
You should bring something up if you don't remember yourself.
you got owned there, Luckychi. But yeah. But I do like how his story is being used as an example for like, okay, let's see, kids these days now choose everyone. Let's see, when we saw in Midoriya's school year group, everyone wanted to be a hero, regardless of their quirks or non-quirks. But now it's like now the hero society's changed, and heroes have now managed to deal with many of the issues with like what will cause the rise of the League of Villains, with villains decreasing. now, let's see, only the strongest quirks can become hero users. Let's see. Okay. Oh yeah. Let's see. But yeah. So basically, let's see, showing that the efforts of Class 1A and the heroes 8 years ago have had a positive impact. And now people are now considering other options for like career rise. And it's nice that it gives us an idea to see let's see some of the other people that we've been following, like Hatsume becoming a successful tech, let's see, support tech industry, if you will, and Gentle and La Brava, let's see, with Gentle and La Brava being able to start their own tech-based company. So so they've reformed and they've gotten and they're done quite well themselves. Well, I'm a bit surprised that the Doctor ends up being one of the people that people had come to admire. So there's that. I do like how let's see, Tentacle has his efforts of like helping like the non-humanoid quirk users, let's see, dealing with that tolerance, even though there's still a little bit of that intolerance in rural areas, and I think that might be an in-world commentary about how in more city areas you get more tolerance of like people with diverse backgrounds, while in more, let's see, rural background areas with like which you got like small towns and villages, they're not as welcoming, I guess. Arguably, yeah, let's see, to some of those things, but you got that little commentary there. But I did like he's received a prize for his efforts. I do like how he says that he's honoring those who joined the uprising 8 years ago. I do like that, at the very least, Uraka has become a hero that deals with like the issues with like people who have with their quirks. In some ways, I have seen
it does stay true to her character.
In some ways, I feel like I saw some people commenting that Uraka has a similar profession to what Sakura had in that Sakura Hidden novel, though granted.
But here's my issue with that. My only issue with that is that I wish we saw that actually in the last chapter of Naruto. That's my only thing.
Yeah. I was saying I've seen people comment that, but let me just finish, Luckychi. But the difference is we actually, like you said, see it here in the manga, and let's see, commented on. While Sakura, let's see, in the last chapter, looked like she was just a housewife. If you did not read any of the spin-off novels or even spin-off materials afterwards, the last panel you see of Sakura is her being a housewife.
Okay, so I just looked it up. It's issue 555.
Oh, 555. Okay, I gotta reread that then.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Let's see. So okay. So all right. But yeah. But basically, we actually get to see Uraraka. Let's see. Doing something with her hero career, and I like that she still teams up with like Froppy and, let's see, Mamanoa. Though granted, Froppy is always the girl that she's been closest with, but let's see, saying I don't mind the housewife part. The issue is that it's shown later. But okay, but let's see. Well, let's see. The whole issue with the whole housewife thing is that that's the only thing we see Sakura do. We don't see her career rise afterwards. But anyway, moving on from that. Though granted, I will admit I'm surprised that Ida is there. Though granted, I think like he's been sadly put into the background. But I suppose he would end up helping Uraka with this, since I guess he wants to also prevent villains like Stain coming out again.
Mm-hmm.
But,
well, I think he wants to atone for his own thing, even though I'm sure he's already atoned for it, but whatever.
Yeah. Let's see. But yeah, I do like how Eri-chan is just living life as a regular schoolgirl and seemingly took an interest in the music career. Let's see, Space saying, also none of the ships confirmed. I'll get to that in a bit. I do like how Bakugo has still got his like unlikable personality, and as a result, it's cost him the #1 hero position. So with that, and as a result, Todoroki is arguably rising to the top. And I do like that. Let's see. That Todoroki's done so well with his hero work that he's gotten the respect of his fans, and many people don't even compare him to Endeavor anymore. So he's broken out of Endeavor's shadow pretty much, and become his own hero. I wouldn't even be surprised if he ends up becoming the number 2 hero. But unlike Endeavor, he's not fussed about it. He's not actually fussed about becoming number 1 like he was.
That's always been Shoto's personality, though. He's always going to be like, unless it like really pisses him off, then he'll go somewhere. But otherwise, he's just like, okay, I'll just go with the flow.
Yeah. So I do like how Lumenium ended up becoming the number 1 hero. So in a sense, like Night Eye predicted, he did become a great hero. So I do like that, and I even like how you got a mix of Class A and Class B being in the top spots. And it seems like even Kami Woods and Mount Lady have remained as like great heroes.
Mm-hmm.
Shoto got a better treatment than Sasuke. To be fair, I don't think Shoto is the Sasuke type character. To be honest. Maybe in terms of family drama.
I was gonna say, if it comes to like the whole family tree aspect of it, I could see that.
Yeah. No, in terms of like, I think Bakugo would be more of the Sasuke type rival. But to be honest,
otherwise, yeah. But like, if we're talking like heavy like story importance, like narratively. I mean, not saying Bakugo did not have anything like narratively going on, but like in terms of like personal character arcs and like what impacts the story, Shoto definitely had, I'd say, more over Bakugo in that case.
But yeah, so
here's the thing. Bakugo, a lot of his big ties just goes to Deku.
Mm-hmm.
Most of
it. Okay. Anyway, okay, well, hold on a sec. I gotta put my charger in the. Gotta put my charger in. There we go. That saved the battery. Where was I? Oh yes. So Kami Woods and Mount Lady still seem to be top heroes, so they're still active.
Mm-hmm. I
do like how Midoriya, even though he misses like the hero work, he's like he still at least remembered what like Fuya Senpai was chatting about, that he still found a way to help inspire the next generation. So I do like that. Let's see. I do like seeing that people like Red Riot have become quite famous heroes. The statue of Class 1A there. Midoriya still trying to help somewhat, leaping to save someone, and that lets him meet Dai. Him asking the question, let's see, can he become a hero? Midoriya, commenting about how his quirks can be, Space saying Mount Lady and Kami Woods should be in their late 30s by now. Yes, they should be, but I think that still allows them to be active heroes. I think.
Let me see. Oh, I think Mount Lady was still kind of like.
I think she was 23 when the series started.
Yeah, so not even late 30s, like early 30s actually.
And to be fair, that should still be quite. They should still be quite active at that age.
I think that would be around the same age as Nagan, right? Let me see. Let me double check. Okay, no. So Nagant was late 30s when she first showed up. Okay.
Let's see. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah. Let's see. The kid asks, "Can I become a hero?" Midoriya smiled, making like his one last mutter, and just talk about how he can be like a hero like Mineta, can use his quirk like Mineta, and then says, "You can be a hero," using the words that inspired him. So yeah. I do like that All Might broke the fourth wall, because if that chapter ended like that, I probably would have been a bit more negative. But I do like how All Might, one last time, gave Midoriya one last power, but this time a mecha suit, since he got data from like his fight against All for One. So it led to something with that. Help from arguably probably Melissa, Class 1A, funding it, and Hatsume, just to give him a suit. So now he's back in the heroes, and like they all have time. They even managed to work together. In terms of the adult designs, Midoriya is just like a mechanized version of his suit, but I do like that he's kept the scarf. Uraraka doesn't feel like unless you count like her features, let's see, in the hair growing and maybe other stuff, but she looks pretty much the same. Bakugo looks taller, I definitely say. Froppy doesn't really look like changed much. Granted, I definitely say in terms of like the heroes, it definitely feels like let's see, most of the guys look like they're the ones that changed most in terms of designs for the most part. Let's see, getting to it in a sec. I mean, yes, there is Pinky who's grown long hair. Minato seems to have grown a bit of stubs from his thing. Juro, it seems like she still is, let's see, pretty much has just one active headphone. So you got that. Tailman, it seems to have gotten a more darker costume. Space is saying Izukuri was like All Might. They have All for One, lost All for One, then become teachers, and finally getting the mech suit. So yeah, in some ways, that's kind of what happened there. Saying Mina's the only one that looks like she's had a massive change. I mean, most of you were when they are in their early 20s, so yeah, that's fair. But yeah, it's mostly like some hairstyle changes that they look all grown. But yeah, generally not much change on the outlooks except for a few hairstyle things. But I do like that you got the panel of them all charging towards together. Though, but yeah. So yeah, so I do like that. But now onto stuff I didn't like in this chapter. I will admit that montage of them going through that double page spreads montage, I will admit, until when I was reviewing this chapter and reading it out, the way it was all paneled and paced kind of confused me. I didn't know where to start. I didn't really know where to start. So it looked like it was too much of a mess, like trying to put too much in. So I thought it was kind of not the best pacing in that regards. Yes, I'm glad Midoriya didn't get the dad haircut. So I will admit, I did not like that aspect of the chapter. And yeah, other aspects I don't like. I think I'm a little disappointed that we never got to see Midoriya's dad. I thought like after years of teasing, never actually see Rokore teasing. He never did that.
Dude, no. If you remember, I think it was like at Comic-Con or something, but he said that his dad was gonna show up at a given point. I'm like, were you just what? He's like, it was like what, 2018, I think 2018, 2016, somewhere around there. But I was just like, you said the dad was gonna show up at a given point, and you do nothing.
Yeah. Let's see. And one thing, probably Space will disagree with me on this part, but I am a little disappointed that that there wasn't more implications of the pairings at the very least. Anything going for is the fact that you got Midoriya and Uraraka together in one panel in the montage. So I'm not really exactly happy about that, I guess. I will admit, no, granted, let's see, I will say this. If it was just the ending at the bit with like how we all became the great heroes before All Might did that break the fourth wall thing, if that bit didn't happen, I would have been a bit more negative because it's like, wait, is that it? But yeah. So arguably those last few pages saved the chapter for me. But to be honest, I don't know. I guess I was expecting something a bit more grand, but on one hand, I don't hate this ending, but I don't say I'm in love with it. I'd say it's in the middle. So for me, it's probably at best a 7 and at worst a 5. But so probably an average of 6 out of 10, but maybe a 7 if I'm being generous. Let's see. He doesn't care about Asuka's dad, but yeah, arguably for me, this Okay, you do a fair point. Like I like Hisoka keeps it open ending with the ships. At least he didn't do random ships like Naruto did, or toxic ones for that matter. But But yeah, arguably, despite everything, I feel like there could have been more to this ending, but I think it's decent for what it does. Though I think the pacing could have been a bit better in some regards. So arguably, I'd say probably a 6 to 7 out of 10. Okay, now I've gone through all my thoughts. It's your turn, Margarita.
Oh, all right, that's cool.
Yeah,
Fine.
do delight us on this manga reader.
What's that?
I said, do delight us on this.
Do delight us. Well, I mean, my vitriol essentially stemmed from the fact that I don't think I made it quite known that I don't think Deku ending Quirkless was ever going to be a good idea for an ending, and I still stand by that. Mind you, I have to admit that at least Koei constantly throughout this ending chapter goes on to say, "Hey, villains are on the down low. There's no longer not a lot of villainy going on or whatnot."
Mm-hmm.
But what the heck are heroes doing then? Is there just supernatural occurrences going on continuously throughout now? What is the environment so bad that there's all these? Everyone just chillaxed in society or something?
No joke. I had the same thought about this. I was just like, huh. I kind of wonder.
It seems Space disagrees with you about the Quirkless thing, Margarita.
I'm sure he does, but that's not to say that this Quirkless ending wasn't written well enough, but it was just never going to sit with me.
It was it's something you weren't like super big on in terms.
And whether or not it was and I mean, you've pointed it out already, and it was like the greatest hero thing was more of a mistranslation than anything.
Mm-hmm.
Even if the anime went with that as well.
You think they would have given? You think they would have given the heads up for the anime? Wait, this was a mistranslation. This is how you should say it.
How I became a great hero instead of the story of how I became the greatest hero.
Yeah, because a lot of people just ruin the anime verse. I'm like, no. But I'm like, guys, the manga says great. It doesn't say greatest.
Well, even the Viz translation says greatest. So, I mean, I guess, yeah. You'd have to go back to Volume 1.
Luckily, I have Volume 1 on me at the moment, so let me just see.
Yeah. It's, as far as I know, it was fan translations that corrected.
Space says the official translation can't seem to agree on if it's a great hero or greatest hero. To be fair, let's see, from my experience and from what chat has pointed out to us, that Viz is not exactly a reliable translation.
Great hero. It says it's the story of how I became a great hero. That's what it says.
Is that what it says?
Yep. Just looked at it right now.
Okay. All right. Well, I've seen different then other versions run with greatest hero, but regardless, yeah, I mean, I've heard that it can be translated as either great or greatest. It's kind of just the thing with Japanese kanji. Doesn't exactly always translate well in English. Regardless, I mean, did that poison us a little bit? Maybe.
I was just going to say, like, as far as like Japanese to English translations go for my hero, it's been pretty consistent. I haven't seen
for the most part, yeah.
I haven't seen like any major changes between the two of them.
Right. But yeah, like I mean, it was never going to sit well with me, regardless. I mean, I've come to terms with it since it's now been like 2 weeks since this chapter.
Yeah,
or almost 2 weeks anyway.
Uh-huh.
So I've mellowed out, and I know James was really hoping to hear me get all angry and whatnot about it, like I was when it first came out. But I told him it's probably not going to be that way because
you kind of.
I was going to eventually,
yeah.
I was going to eventually figure it out. So yeah, I don't really know what the whole planning, if he's talking about the group or if he's really just saying he's never really been in contact with anyone. I'd like to think that it's just group get-togethers that can't happen.
Yeah, I assume that he's probably individually interacted with them all, but I believe as a group, like a say class reunion, that is rare.
Well, I mean,
although I guess in context, it really wouldn't make sense for him to be upset if he's still somewhat keeping in contact with anyone.
Yeah, like I would say, like in order for him to know that he doesn't have time for them, you have to have communications, right? So it's not like they all just flew off the face of the earth. It's not like that happened.
No, they're still in contact. It just sounds like, I don't know, for that particular line really wouldn't even need to be said per se if he's been if he's been interacting with them anyway. And I know he's walking, and again, maybe he interacts with them or maybe not. I don't know. I mean, I'd like to just assume that it's, again, get-togethers. But it's just kind of odd in the way that it's written that he'd be talking about how they can't ever seem to line anything up. So I don't know. That one was really annoying to hear at first, but seeing it in obviously not spoiler-esque form this time, gives it at least. Yeah,
that's where my annoyance comes in with the fandom. They're just like holding on to that. I'm just like, guys, y'all can't. Pardon me saying this. Y'all can't be this brain dead. That's the thought that crossed my mind with.
To be fair, I think some of the people sharing the negativity are a bunch of Naruto fans are trying to shit on the My Hero Academia ending.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people that hate it are absolutely using this particular situation.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, hey, Deku never had friends at all. He was just friends when he was powerful.
Yeah, or the fact that Ochiko's being represented as a whore because, well, Deku's quirkless. She's like sleeping with other guys. I'm like, y'all falling for
there is
real.
absolutely no indication that she's sleeping with anyone.
There's nothing anywhere. I know. There's nothing. There's nothing anywhere. I mean,
yeah.
We don't know. Obviously, again, that's where the problem with open endings can come into play.
Mm-hmm.
It's like there's no confirmation of anything. We don't actually know what the hell is going on.
Yep.
We have maybe an implication that they might have dated in high school. Maybe. We don't know.
Let's see. Unless it's like Koei decides to do a movie or some spin-off chapters that deals with their relationship, I don't know. But yeah. Also, wanted to make a comment to space here. But yeah, Midori did get recognized though by Dai, so he does have his fans out there. So,
see, that's the thing is people were saying, "Oh, Deku just got forgotten." I'm like, no, if he got forgotten, they wouldn't.
Well, the problem is maybe he's at least based on Dai's interaction.
Mm-hmm.
Izuku's mainly like an urban legend.
Yeah. He's like
he didn't know he even existed.
It's kind of like what's it called? Like the Avatar process, where
you don't actually know that you exist until you actually show up.
Yeah.
Which I will admit, it seems a bit weird since it's like only been 8 years, but oh well.
Right. Well, I mean, obviously I don't know. He would have still had to done some hero work, given that the Embers.
Yeah, if I had to take a guess, and this was me hypothetically thinking this, but I would probably have to say maybe his embers lasted until
graduation at least.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, just based on how the timeline flows in that situation.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact of the matter is, it's like I don't know. We've seen One for All do these amazing things. I can't quite comprehend why it would choose, well, my purpose is ended. We don't need to be here anymore. We got rid of the main threat. I thought it's still ultimate purpose was just to be, you know, a symbol throughout all of life. So you'd think that it would be like still a passing the torch situation. Obviously, at that point, Deku would have still remained quirkless, but by that point, you would have thought that he would have been like, you know, All Might, still being the great hero, doing his heroic thing, and then deciding I don't need to, and the new generation needs to take over.
To be honest, Mangareader, I think that kind of ending kind of was like killed off in a moment. It was felt that the aftermath of the Paranormal Liberation War, that Midoriya is likely to be the last user of one for all when it's learned that as the
the tipping point.
As the quirk stockpiles on power, it damages the lifespan of the.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like around that, even before that, like I had to think, like, well, if we're gonna go with this whole all for one versus one for all narrative, and I'm like thinking, well, if we're viewing this like as this like yin and yang concept, you get rid of one. What's to say, you know, some other force of nature shows up?
Yeah, but basically the fact that Midoriya is hinted to be the last user of it. At the very least, it was either he's going to lose the quirk by the end of it, or he's the last one to have it, but he only has like sort of limited powers. Which, to be fair, would have been better if perhaps Midoriya had still some of the power of one. Arguably, at the very least, I figured he could at least kept the super strength, but sadly that didn't happen, and we got this sort of ending here.
Well, that's true, but I mean, the thought of that being killed off when they had the idea of, you know, sending the other quirk user or the past vestiges into Shigaraki to open up his hearted heart section or whatnot.
Yeah,
that could have been the soft reboot. Yeah.
Yeah, that's when I noticed it. I was kind of just like, huh.
Let's see. When that was happening, I figured Midoriya was going to lose all the 6 quirks that Luckychi likes to call them. And
right.
He just kept with the super strength, but no, that turned out to be all of them.
Yeah, because I mean, they had talked about keeping one of them there in case the plan failed. So
yeah,
in this case, it was Black Whip. They were like, keep with him, and then
it turned out to be Nana Shinamura.
Yeah, who ended up staying by accident. But yeah, no, I thought it would reboot. I thought that would be the ultimate decision because, you know, evil never really dies per se.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's if you want to.
Fair enough, but yeah, like it rises for a new evil. Now, granted, it seems like given the fact that this chapter pretty much you had the next big villain. Due to being helped by that elderly lady, he is instead now being in the hero course, sort of not becoming the next Shigaraki. Let's see, so it seems that's been taken care of. Oh, by the way, there's one question I want to address. Do you guys believe that the volumes of the anime would add extra stuff to this ending?
I mean, I'll say
it's kind of the thing, yeah.
I mean, I've made it known since I read the chapter, like before the chapter officially came out, because I got curious. I was like, wait, how many pages like does this final volume add up to? Because I was like, wait, if volume 41 ended at what was it, like 422, and if all we have are like 8 chapters, usually like, and I'll say this, usually 8 chapters, you would think, okay, that should be enough to cover a whole volume. But then I saw the pages for each chapter, and I'm like, wait, 15. 126? Like altogether, like from chapters 423 to 430, it's like 126 pages. So if that tells you anything, and the fact that we're not getting the last volume for like another 4 months, I mean, the math there doesn't add up, you know?
So, in other words, you believe we're either going to get some extra pages added to like the mangas that we already gotten, or we're going to get some bonus chapter material.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough. Anyway, some more comments.
And before anyone says that's totally not believable, no shonen mangaka has done that before. I refer back to Demon Slayer, okay? Because
Demon Slayer.
no. Here's the thing: Demon Slayer, with its final volume, had and I'm being dead serious here. It had a total of like 39 extra pages added. So it's not impossible.
Also, I think Assassination Classroom's final volume is literally 5 bonus chapters.
Yeah,
there's that.
I'm sure we'll get something because yes, you pointed it out the last time that this would be a really short volume, so clearly something's going to be added for padding somehow.
Yeah. Also, Space's Attack on Titan also did some extra stuff for the final chapter, which
you didn't get. Well, here's the thing: Attack on Titan's final chapter. And okay, I've already made my rant about Attack on Titan's final chapter for a while, but I'll just say this: thank God for those final pages because, oh man.
Well, I would say the anime made it slightly better.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, anyway, let's see. Enough about let's see.
Other added pages. Yeah.
Let's see. Let's see. So, but yeah. But anyway, Margarita, more to your thoughts. Sorry.
Yeah.
No, it's no big deal. I mean, we always go off track. So yeah, I mean, there's hit and miss with a lot of this junk. Like I said, whether or not, I'm not saying that people have to agree that quirkless is the way to go. I'm just not a fan of it. I know you like the teacher route. I don't necessarily know if Deku's actually suited for the role, but again, each their own on that one.
It kind of reminded me of Nagisa a little bit from Assassination Classroom. That's what.
Why are you bringing Classroom back up? No, don't do this. The only reason I'm saying that is because, I mean, one, Azawa points out that Deku's kind of too nice about his teachings.
Yeah.
Two, just because you have knowledge doesn't mean you have a good way of conveying it. And we already see that Deku still does his over-analysis type crap.
Mm-hmm.
Where he's muttering, essentially. So, I don't know. Like I said, is it the worst possible role? No. But I don't necessarily know if it... I don't know. Maybe him being... I don't know. He could have been like a support guy or something, but whatever. Teacher, not the worst. I don't necessarily know if I agree that it's his best role, but
My guess is that perhaps the reason he did that and Kari went with the teacher out is just so that you could have Azawa with more interactions in the final chapter.
Yeah. Yeah, we needed a reason for him to still hang out with some of the hero people. But yeah, not the worst, not the best. That was probably my minor list of complaint thing. But
the only thing I can think of that Midoriya could have done is perhaps work at the let's see, the same place that Hawks is working at, where he's the head. Maybe be like
the agency, or whatever it is.
Yeah, the hero committee.
Yep. I mean, that could have worked. I mean, that would have been a lot cooler. I know that him and Hawks really didn't have a lot of interactions.
But yeah, I think some of the people
in the comments,
I think the people in the comments are saying that the probably reason why he was made as a teacher was to mimic All Might. Or to parallel All Might.
It's just funny because All Might said that he wasn't going to be a good teacher.
But yeah. So, yeah. Okay.
But, no, my biggest... I really didn't like it at first. I'm still not the biggest fan of it. being, the suit.
You've kind of warmed up to it. It's kind of
it makes a little more sense the more I've given thought to it, but at the same time, the only thing that helps it is the fact that he said, as quirks evolve, technology evolves. But
which is an accurate.
I mean, we saw the suit, albeit it was the prototype. So don't get me wrong. A prototype can mean anything. The suit didn't really do much against one for
one, yeah.
All for one, yeah. It really didn't. But again, prototype. It held off. It did its job, sort of. All for One was definitely toying with All Might the whole time, but I don't know. The suit has problems still. We don't necessarily know. We don't know. Obviously, we don't see it in action. We don't know what's going on. Maybe he's got the support of all his friends now to the point where it won't matter, but I don't know. It kind of goes against the whole idea that you kind of needed a quirk to just, be a hero in the first place. I know symbolism, Deku was a hero even without the quirk for All Might. Well, if that was the case, why did he give him the quirk in the first place? Yada, yada. I mean, I don't know.
To be fair,
I was just going to say I'm still on the fence with it. I mean, it's cool, sort of, but I don't know.
Yeah. Space says, also, All Might did fight Rewrite All for One, which isn't a joke. We'll see who stands hope, but yeah. But I will say this. I do think this is probably Koi returned to his original concept for Midoriya, because I think originally Midoriya
You
was
literally took what I was about to say. God damn it, Blue.
Sorry, Lucky.
Well, I knew one of you was going to bring it up, and I'm going to just say this now. I probably would have been well okay with this if that was what it was originally going to be.
Yeah.
Now it just feels kind of
like
a little hollow, I guess, in my opinion.
So yeah, so in a sense he's returned to his roots, though granted you could probably blame the editor for suggesting a quirk in the first place.
Yeah, we mentioned that a bit, but if a guy his goal was always to be a hero. It doesn't matter if it was the best hero. It doesn't matter if he wanted to be the number one hero.
Just a hero.
The thing, yeah, he just wanted to be a hero. And All Might, I think what really drove it, though, for people thinking that he should aim for the number one was in the sports festival when All Might basically encouraged Deku to make a name for himself.
Yeah, I could see that.
So that kind of shifted the whole narrative from him just being a hero like All Might, saving people with a smile, yada, yada. Which I want to point out, he was not smiling any time against Shigaraki in that battle. I just want to point that out. But I don't know. This feels kind of hollow in its sense. I like I said, I would have been way okay with this in the first place.
Like if
if he was just fighting like a tactical fighter.
Mm-hmm.
The problem that this is if the suit ever gets damaged, he's not like some secret millionaire that can refund this like Tony Stark can. So I know some of the popular Twitter comments are that, oh, he's just going to be like Iron Man. Well, that's not really the case. This suit costs oodles of money, apparently, and it's not exactly something that Deku probably has the most insane funds to upgrade at times.
Well, to be fair, we don't really know. Let's see. We don't really know how
the suit's capabilities. That's
obviously we don't. I'm just saying that it's not necessarily an Iron Man esque ending for him. So.
Yeah. For all we know, the suit could be quite easily repairable and maybe even done quite cheaply, for all we know. For all we know, it might be a self-repairing suit. We don't really know if it could do something like that. And
Right.
also, let's see, as Think Space points out, let's see, there's not really going to be any villains on All for One's level. And for all we know, if Midoriya is back in hero work, it could be possible that he could be able to fund the suit himself. Now, granted, it depends on how high he ranks and how much he gets paid for it. But it also could be, let's see, how other agencies and his classmates might continue to help him being a hero, because it seems they all like to have everyone being heroes together.
I mean,
Right.
if the Dark Hero arc proved something, is that they wouldn't let Izuku just be by himself.
By himself. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, again, if it extends back to that with the hero work, there's a lot of natural disasters occurring then for if you need like high level quirks to be a hero at this point. So clearly there's some villains running around doing some junk, but a lot of it just sounds like they're just doing like publicity based things at this point.
Now, granted, unless Koei decides to do like a few spin-off works or some sequel things, or even maybe a movie that shows Deku in his new mecha suit. For the time being, we won't know what it's going to happen. Now, I do know that besides the movie coming out, there is an announcement that of a worldwide popularity poll. Correct?
There is.
Yeah, that was the major announcement.
Yeah, and the winner of that movie, and the winner of that that poll gets to have their own movie, right?
Are we really expecting anyone other than Bakugo, though? That's my big thing. I'm just like,
the only way that we weren't going to somehow get him was if if they somehow decided we don't need a movie on Bakugo, we need a movie on someone else.
In many ways, it could be a similar situation to Naruto poll, where everyone, probably preferred someone besides the winner, but everyone voted for the winner because they wanted to learn more about that character. For example, like I was saying in the chat earlier, it's like, hold on, let me say Luckychi, for example, say if people wanted to learn more about All Might's past, they could arguably vote for All Might, and he wins, and we could end up seeing the movie which shows All Might's story of how he became a hero to rising to fighting All for One. So that could possibly be a section of like how it goes. Or maybe if they want to try and get some spotlight onto the female characters, you might even get someone like Uraraka getting the vote thing, as there were quite a few people that voted Sakura for that reason. And but yeah. Let's see. So, let's see. But yeah, so you go what you were saying, Luckychi.
Well, no, here's the big difference, though. Even before Naruto ended, a lot of people, and I mean a lot of people, were banking on a Minato guidance story for like eons. So I see legitimacy in that, but Bakugo, like especially what he's. I mean,
the only thing he could do is his hero exploits, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, actually, to comment on what Space is saying, I'll say this, because I have seen that narrative running around on social media for a while of getting the last situation with My Hero Academia as like a movie. And I know a lot of people are thinking about how that whole storyline went down. I'm not going to say we're gonna get that story necessarily. Not that. But I think what people are referring to is, like a romance-based story of that between Deku and Ochiko. That's mainly what people are referring to. Not necessarily like beat for beat storyline, because obviously that wouldn't work.
Let's see. It's very possible that if the Uraraka does win, that might be a side plot thing in the movie, but they do something else.
I
Especially
wouldn't
if it's a
honestly.
lead.
I wouldn't be opposed to that if that's what we go with.
But yeah, I don't think they'll do the last. I think it's the
No,
so-
not necessarily the story, obviously, but like that kind of like genre. You know.
Yeah. But arguably, if I had to guess, I think most people might try to vote All Might to see an origin movie for All Might. I think that's what they would likely do. Just like just seeing him.
And All Might. I
Yeah,
mean, we sort of saw his origin though throughout.
Yeah, but I mean, see a full-on All Might versus All for One fight. Prime All Might versus Prime All for One.
That would be cool.
I would.
Let's see. If the last episode's only the final chapter, do you believe they will add extra stuff?
Definitely, they will.
Yeah, but yeah. So
It's almost
anyway,
guaranteed.
So how would you score the last chapter? Out of curiosity.
Me, because I know Chi hasn't exactly given his full-on review yet.
Okay.
But
So if you, sorry, man, I have to ask. Have you finished giving your overall thoughts, or there's still a few things that you need to say?
I think I covered the big things. I mean, if she brings anything up that I might have missed, I'll probably just touch in on that. But I think I covered the big things that I would have wanted to say.
Okay. So, Luckychi, what are your thoughts on this chapter?
The more I've read it, I'm gonna say this: it's not the greatest ending of all time.
I don't think any of us agreed with that
But
anyway in the first place.
I don't necessarily think it's dog shit either. Definitely not that.
Well, I didn't say that either.
No, I wouldn't even say it's great.
I didn't say that either.
Good is mildly stretching it. I know I've been somewhat positive on Twitter, but I haven't exactly been
Key on it.
yeah, keen on like my thoughts on the final chapter as a whole. And I'm gonna say this because I think both of y'all have covered the basis of what the chapter is, and it's okay. I can give it that much. More so, not even more so, but but I also noticed like holes like when it came to the final chapter because I don't know about you guys, but it felt like a first draft for what the what a last chapter should be. That's what it felt like to me when I was reading it.
A rough draft.
Yeah.
That's
how I was looking. I'm like, because I was looking at it from a writer's perspective, and I'm like thinking, it's not a bad final chapter. It just needs a little bit more to it.
She the writer, folks. Rave the writer. No. I mean, I could see it.
Yeah.
I was looking at it with a different type of passion, so didn't necessarily look at it one way or the other as it being a rough draft or a final draft or whatnot. But I could see what you mean by it maybe being more of in the draft stage.
Yeah, like especially like when you have those like montage of moments, like that's where I kind of wonder if like these little snippets we're getting like of those like panels. I wonder if stuff like that will get expanded on
in the actual final volume.
Yeah.
Well, if they can make it
he might do short stories.
Well, if they can make it more better paced, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
I mean, if you put it in perspective like that, then yeah, obviously this feels a little on the rushed end, but
Oh yeah, also Spinner published a League of Villains novel. I don't know if anybody noticed that.
Yeah, I know.
We did. I think he pointed it out like originally anyway.
Yeah.
He was like, comic book, doesn't matter, we don't know. It's just a novel in there.
Yeah.
I was trying to see if you could see like the name on there, but you really don't.
Oh, let me see. Yeah, it's a little faded.
It's just blurred out. It's the whatever. Apparently, it's selling decently. Considering there's only 4 volumes right there, or 3 volumes. No, 4.
You also have something going on between Coda and Eri, by the looks of it, which, that's a thing.
And he took her home to the Pussycats.
Yeah.
So we got the ship confirmed, but it's the youngest.
We don't
ship.
actually know. Yeah. We don't actually know what it is because they're not seen together in their actual youth.
8 years later, we're on the thing of that.
Yeah. Granted,
if I have to guess on like what I think we could get for the final volume, because between where Deku smiles and Bakugo saying "Come on, Deku," I feel like we're gonna get some stuff expanded between those 2 panels. I feel.
So more besides Hawks talking on the phone and like a ghost of Shigaraki looking onwards.
Mm-hmm. More on that, and I could definitely see like Deku actually running into his like friends again, as opposed to just that final shot. Because I'm just like thinking, like, you go from that to Bakugo. I'm like, am I missing something?
Am I? Yes. I am missing something.
Because you just go from Deku smiling to Bakugo, just like, come on, man. Context? Like, someone needs to say something. Koei, I'm watching you. I'm just saying that right now. Between now and December, we're gonna see what exactly we get. But I mean, like I said, look, I've been in a lot of fandoms over these last 10 years, but the fact that some people are like so gullible at believing half the shit they're seeing online, I'm just like, guys, y'all can't be this dumb.
Well, to be fair, Luckychi, you got let's see, my country had a bunch of riots happen because you got some like anti-immigration lot believing like the fake news bits about how 3 girls were stabbed by an immigrant from an asylum seeker.
We're going there right now.
I'm not talking about politics. I'm just referring to just this, the final chapter. That's what I'm referring to.
I'm talking about this. This right here.
Exactly.
Well, to be fair, I'm just saying that people seem to believe anything online if it fits their narrative or agenda.
Well, you also have to consider this, like, and I'm honestly, I'm glad I like dipped when the spoilers came out. All I saw was the final chapter.
For any offense, I apologize.
Okay, but yeah, no. I was just gonna say this. I'm so glad as soon as the final chapter title was leaked out. That's when I said I'm just gonna disappear for a while because I knew what that was gonna turn into. Because I remember what this feeling was like with Naruto, and I'm just like, yeah, no, we're not going through this a second time.
Sorry, could you repeat that, Luckychi?
Jesus. I said, like,
oh no!
Come on, Blue, you gotta pay more attention.
So I was reading the comments.
No. So,
sure you were.
Uh-huh. No, I was basically just saying that, like, I'm so glad that I dipped from, like, social media, when the final chapter title was leaked, because I knew that it was going to be an uproar. And I mean, the only thing I was able to unavoid was, like, the final chapter shot. That was it. I was like, well, okay. That's the only thing I saw was just that. It's like, well, all right. So they're all together.
Yeah, I got spoiled of that final panel shot myself. Now, granted, I end up seeing, the full-on chapter in like really early translations, so I couldn't quite understand the text at first because it's like,
yeah, like I read the unofficial translations, and I was just like, I'm like, because I didn't want to base my opinion just on that. I'm like thinking,
that's
let
it.
me wait
But
for the official ones. Just
yeah, but
see.
I'm not talking about like the usually the good quality early translations. I'm talking more like the bad quality ones where it's like it looks more like a spoiler, gritty shadings and colorings, but with like added textbooks. I thought
Oh yeah,
that
no,
meant that.
not those. I didn't even see those. I waited for like the good early translations to come out. And
Okay, then you saw the chapter in much better condition than I did at first.
yeah, no, because like when I saw that one, I'm just like, because I was reading the chapter, I'm just like, is this what people are bitching about? Like, pardon my language, but I'm like, really? All the rage, all the outcry. This is what we're complaining about. This ending, really? That was my opinion. Because the way people were talking about it, I was like, well, dang, this is
I
bad. I'm worried, but
I remember seeing a lot of Naruto fans go like, "Oh, I see. You see. Oh, you're comparing this ending using the whole Naruto versus Sasuke thing as a rejection about Naruto's ending being bad." Even though, which, well, I will admit, I do feel like most Naruto fans. Well, yes, most people enjoyed the Naruto versus Sasuke fight for what it was. It's usually the stuff that came before and then after that gets people saying that the ending of Naruto is bad.
no, like honestly, like if you look at the final volume of Naruto, a lot of that was just Naruto versus Sasuke. When you look at it, so what is that like 8/10 of the volume? Like
I think it was 5 chapters.
no, but like as a whole.
Yeah, but like, let's see, but there was just 5 chapters where they actually fought.
Yeah, I know. I'm just also taking 693 into account too. With that, 693 and 692.
693 and 692.
Which this will tell you how old we are, guys. But like, I'm still so relieved that Sasuke went on his old revolution speech because let me tell you, the Naruto fandom back then, you actually had dead ass people believing, oh, we're not gonna get a Naruto versus Sasuke fight. He's a good guy. Like, are y'all stupid? Look at the hints. It's there.
Good guy.
Well, yeah, I think it was obvious that those two were going to fight, but I think what shocked everyone about the fact it was only going to be 5 chapters long.
Well, no, because like,
No,
yeah,
remember, let's see, Naruto and Sasuke were to announce the fight, and then you got the announcement that, oh, Naruto's got 5 chapters left or something. It's like, wait, is it going to be that quick?
I mean, well, yeah, that's the part where I was a little thrown off too. But I was mainly just saying that, like, I'm like thinking, like, guys, like Masashi himself was saying, we're gonna end the series with Naruto versus Sasuke. If he was not gonna give us that, then you spent all that time like force feeding. I wouldn't even say building up, just force feeding. Oh look, here they meet up. Now we're gonna save it. Like you would have to just imagine how pissed off people would be of just not seeing that. It's like you spent all of part 2 building that up, and to not get it, it's like,
yeah. Let's see. Kishimoto had to do that final. Let's see that Naruto versus Sasuke fight. Let's see. They had to at least fight once. Now, granted, you can debate whether or not it should have been the final fight or one of the final fights. I think that can be up for debate.
I'll say this, and this has always been I don't know if I mentioned it with you guys, but I would say had Madara been defeated around like volume 69, and you spend like the last 3 volumes dedicated to that, you know, like it's like you have now the final phase of Naruto being the whole Sasuke subplot. If that's what we're and look, I know it's a hypothetical, and that's not going to happen now because it's already set in stone. But there's a lot of variables that Masashi could have went in with if he went that direction.
Personally, I kind of wish Kishimoto, instead of ending it on the 700 mark, would see at best ended it at the 750 mark. Just mostly to deal with all the like stuff with Taka, Orochimaru, Sakura, and the rest of the members of Team Kakashi / Team Yamato. Just to deal with all that stuff.
Mm-hmm. Shoot, no, I'll even say this: you could still have Sasuke beyond his whole revolution phase. That's fine. If you want that to be the start of your next arc, be my guest. That's,
I'll say this: at least with like My Hero Academia, it built up with the epilogue. It built up its epilogue instead of rushing it with those last two chapters.
But see, even then, like, okay, yeah, epilogue-wise, this was still pretty good, but you can't also but help but feel you could have expanded on more things.
Yeah, it definitely feels like we're missing a few things. I'll definitely say not as much as we were missing in Naruto. I mean, you literally had to get spin-off title stuff to learn what happened to Taka, what happened to like Yamato, what happened to Orochimaru, what happened to the Tailed Beast, etc.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, here's the thing: people are saying about like getting an expansion on the final chapter. What do you guys think about getting an expansion on chapter 429?
I wouldn't be against it if it added a bit more hints towards an Izuku versus Midoriya thing. Then I'd be all for it.
Yeah,
but whether or not that'll be used there, or perhaps maybe in the other chapter, but space is like not for him. But yeah.
I mean, look, guys, I'm just gonna say it right now. We're as it stands currently, you got maybe an extra 60 to 80 pages that could possibly be a part of the final volume. So, take that for what you will.
So anyway, I suppose I should ask you both for overall scores.
Yeah, I'll go first.
Or have you still got some more things you need to say, Luckychi?
I mean, most of like my criticisms is just my disappointment with the fandom, less on the chapter itself, because like
I'm disappointed in you.
Like, I see what Koei was doing with the final chapter, and it's not a bad final chapter. But like I said, just needed a bit more like expansion on like what was there.
Feels like it could have been like a double page ending chapter thing, like 44 pages.
It's like I said, it feels like a first draft than a final draft.
At the very least, I wouldn't mind at least having a panel with Midoriya's father.
And I mean, look, if there's one thing Koei's notorious for, it's always adding things to the volumes. That's just his thing. So, if we're talking about additions and changes, this final volume might be the biggest one.
Yeah. So, but yeah, arguably the fandom for My Hero Academia. Let's see, how many pages was Naruto's final chapter anyway?
Naruto's chapter was like 17. It was like standard. Yeah,
it's standard, but it had the special feature of all of the pages being colored.
Well, yeah, there's that. That's the only.
No, granted, it didn't do it any favors. Let's see. So it seems like people are like, Fard Khan's rating it a 6 to 7 out of 10, mostly 6. So that is arguably around my score. What about you guys? Are you higher or lower? As Space is giving it an 8 out of 10.
Space, yours is a little too high. I'm going to say that. Not that it's a bad rating. I'm just like, 8? I don't know.
It's a bad rating for you. But
come on, Mangareader.
For me, I would say it's I'm gonna do 7.
7.
I think I'm being. I don't know. I feel like 6.5 is being too negative and too much bias towards my dislike of the thought of it, but I don't think anything higher would be necessarily true in the sense that she kind of pointed out that it almost feels like more of like a draft than an actual finale.
Mm-hmm.
So 7 for me works.
Okay. And you, Lucky Chi? Lucky Chi, you there? He's completely muted us.
Oh my god!
That's it. I'll just do some comments while waiting for Lucky Chi to come back. He says, I do hope people grow to like this ending and not hate it completely. To be fair, I can see this ending having a better chance of being more liked over time compared to Naruto's. Let's see. So be ready for many rewrites of My Hero Academia. Yeah, I can see that. In fact, I probably wouldn't be surprised you already got some right now. Let's see, but yeah.
It's not the worst ending.
Yeah.
Far from it.
Oh, yeah. Let's see, which will be the next topic, but I'm waiting for Lucky Chi to come back so that,
I guess I should say, since none of us brought it up, Koei never did introduce who Deku's father was, but...
Yeah, that was kind of disappointing, like I said.
That's a little lower than any of the other things that I was saying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in some ways, it kind of reminds me of how Sakura's parents never really showed up in the manga. I mean, granted, they did eventually show up in the Road to Ninja movie, but that's only because I like Kishimoto had a story. But yeah, but also I think because Kishimoto lacked the confidence to introduce the parents after the whole hate for them. Saying Space, I mean, I mostly meant a rewrite for the whole series and not just this ending. Well, okay, if that's the case, well, to be fair, I think Fired Console like Daigo for Naruto. Oh yeah. Who knows? You might have some people doing Daigo rewrites. Though granted, I find Daigo's rewrite of Naruto to be a bit of a mixed bag. On one hand, some of his stuff is interesting, such as how certain characters get some fights that you wanted to see that you never got to see, such as like Sakura versus Conan, or let's see, Neji versus Sasuke. But I find his like writing for the shipping just as cringe as like the Naruto one, like the one in the series, even if it's not as toxic. Let's see, Space says, to me, Daigo's rewrite isn't even a rewrite anymore. Yeah, I kind of have to agree with that. Also, I find the idea of Hinata being a Ambu, root agent to be stupid. I'm not sure. Well, I'm not sure if he necessarily ships anything, though. He seems to think that Nahina and Sasusaku have always been like the planned ships. So I don't know if he actually ships them, but he seems to think that they were supposed to be endgame.
Oh, yes.
So as a result, he just ends up having them being like, just having them being hinted towards with like, without any actual conflict. For example, I think we had Naruto give up on Sakura when that whole, recovery scene, the whole thing, and just said, just use the same lines as the last of like, it's only a rivalry thing. And then, even though I have not seen how he exactly got,
I'm still here, by the way.
Ritzy, where are you, Lucky Chi? I was waiting for you to give your score.
Oh, my score. That's the tease, right? Well, much like Koei Horikoshi, I'm going to save that for when we do the final arc podcast. No. No, I'm not going to do that. Okay. with what we have currently, I'll give it an OK plus. Which, if anyone is curious, that's a 6.5 out of 10.
So on an average score, it's a 7 out of 10 or 6.5 out of 10, depending on who you ask.
Yeah.
Let's see. So and just to just finish up what I was saying, Third Khan, from what I've seen from some Reddit things, he seems to have just mostly Naruto just attracted to Hinata in that rewrite just because of her physical features. I'm not sure if that's true, but yeah. Let's see. Space is asking, will you do a stream on the volumes if they add extra stuff? Possibly as a discussion.
I mean, this is where I'm debating on like doing a podcast for the final arc right now, just because I'm thinking, what's gonna be there with the last volume? So that's I'm not like immediately jumping the gun on let's do a podcast for the final war.
No,
Just yet.
Sorry, go on.
No, I was saying like that's why I'm not like immediately jumping the gun on us doing a final war arc podcast, mainly because of just that by itself.
Okay. Let's see. So yeah, I'm just going to answer another question that I think Space has answered before. It's like, in terms of this ending, how does it compare to other shonen manga endings? Now, let's see. Yeah, wait until all the volumes come out. But yeah, but anyway, like I said, so I'm going to ask this question to the guys here. In terms of like endings for like manga, how does it compare to the others? Because I think for us, I think we probably agree on that something like Full Metal Alchemist is S tier standard good endings, and Naruto and Attack on Titan are S tier standard disappointing or really bad endings.
Ugh. Yeah, well, see, I don't even know if I can say that, but
In terms of me, I'd say it's probably in the middle, like average. Not good, but not necessarily great, but not necessarily bad or awful either. I mean, not really something I was hoping for, like 10 years of build-up, but I will probably take it over the bad endings for so many other series.
I mean, I don't think I ever got a chance to say this, but for Koei to go in the direction of like Deku losing his quirk, that's a ballsy writing decision. I'll give him that.
Like, arguably, this is the first time a protagonist has lost his powers since I think Full Metal Alchemist.
Yeah, but Full Metal Alchemist had a different reason for that.
Yeah, there was a different reason as to why that happened.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't even call that a fair comparison, but
you will have
Bleach ended.
You will have people comparing it.
If Bleach ended where Bleach was going to potentially have ended, yeah, Ichigo would have been without it, but we all know that that's not what happened. So
yeah.
Hey, if we want to do a Fullbringer arc, if he decides to do a sequel, man, I wouldn't be against it.
Yeah.
Even though the Fullbringer arc actually sucked, but you know.
No, which okay, I know a lot of people say that, but literally it's
I'd say for me it was
no. Wait, let me finish.
You weren't even started.
Literally, it is just not just like, but it's similar to Chapter Black from Yu Yu Hakusho. But Chapter Black, I would say, tackled it much better than Fullbring did.
Let's see. So Space is asking, is Kudo planning on end Bleach after the Aizen arc? My understanding,
that would have been, honestly, I would have been okay with that if that's where we had ended Bleach.
Well, from my understanding, though, granted, the only source I really can recall is TV Troop, is that Kubo never intended the Aranka saga to last as long as it did. It's from my understanding, it was Ritty initially popular, and the editors asked him to spray it, Ritty continue it longer. Now, whether or not Kubo intended that to be the last arc or not, I'm not sure, but I think for many people, they thought Aizen was the final fight. So when he was defeated, many people dropped the manga series.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So I think that's mainly what generally happened. Now, in terms of endings, let's see. For me, I think Fullmetal Alchemist remains the gold standard of endings. As far as I can tell, I have not seen any other ending as more satisfying as Fullmetal Alchemist in terms of manga.
Even
I thought Yu Yu Hakusho had a pretty good
Yu
ending.
Yu Hakusho had a
let's
really
see.
great ending.
Yeah. Yu Yu Hakusho is also a pretty good ending, but I would probably
Pretty
say,
good.
yeah, I think if I'd say if there's like S tier endings, it's a Yu Yu Hakusho would be there with Fullmetal Alchemist.
I think
I just put more Fullmetal Alchemist as my favorite. Let's see. Now, I guess the Ryu Kenshin, I think for many people would also be that. Though, granted, that manga series has a whole other kind of worms. That's
I would say
more outside.
Separate the art from the artist, Blue.
That's my thoughts exactly. I was literally thinking the same thing. Manga reader.
Let's see. Kind of hard to do it with this one, I'm afraid.
Okay.
Is it really though?
Yeah.
People still listen to Michael Jackson.
That's. Yeah, I don't think you can argue with that one.
Let's see. I know. Well, I'll get to more of that. But never mind. Well, that's a topic for another day.
Okay.
But
in terms of gold standards, for me, I mean, Full Metal Alchemist is out there, but for me, it's Rave Master, Tokyo Ghoul, Assassination Classroom, easily. What else?
See, hold on. Let's see. Let me think of some of the endings. Okay, let's see. Yu Yu Hakusho.
Yu Yu Hakusho, yeah, there's that.
Yu Yu Hakusho. Let's see. Fullmetal Alchemist. Ryu Kenshin.
Just because Blue doesn't have the balls to say it, Kenshin.
I said that Ryu Kenshin is arguably an S-class ending. It's just the stuff surrounding it is also. It's just that unfortunately it's damaged its reputation. But anyway.
Let me think. What else?
Death Note seems to be one that's being brought up.
Well, I wouldn't say that was that good.
No.
Let's
Okay.
see.
If Death Note ended where it should have ended, then yeah.
Let's see. I think Death Note would probably be more an A or B rank.
Yeah, they did L kind of dirty. I mean, don't get me wrong, he is a dick, but they did him kind of dirty.
They did. Where would Demon Slayer stand for you, Blue? And I know they haven't exactly covered the final arc in the anime, but where would that sit for you?
I think Demon Slayer would probably be an A rank.
Okay.
Yeah, I think, granted, I will admit, the epilogue was a bit of a strange way to, all those years in the future, but it does, I guess, in a sense, show that all their accomplishments have happened, that all that they fought for, let's see, lasted generations after they were gone.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it was, let's see, but yeah. So, and also they made sure that the demons never came back for all those flowers being destroyed. So, there was that. So, I think Demon Slayer is like an A rank ending, but yeah. Rave Master probably is S rank, though I will admit it is sort of tainted a little bit by having what I thought was a few side characters coming, but seemingly dead actually came back to life. But that's, I guess, just hero for you. Let's see. Promised Neverland, I put in like B ranking. Because
Promised Neverland, I'd say is more like A- for me, but
yeah. Let's see, but yeah, Demon Slayer.
Unless it's the anime where it was sucked.
Let's see. Okay, I haven't really fully read the Shaman King ending, but I think when it first came out, I think people hated it, but I think after some re-edits, it got a bit better. So that would probably also be in the B and A ranking.
Oh, here's another S tier ending that no one really talks about a lot. You want to take a guess on what it is?
Well, since no one talks about it, how would we know?
Hold on. Is it Pandora's Hearts?
No, put that one's up there. That's in that category too, but that's not the one I was thinking of.
Okay, then what is it?
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Oh yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh! That is probably also in the A or S rank tier. The original Yu-Gi-Oh! Let's see. I'll say this: the manga. But I will say this: the manga for Yu-Gi-Oh! 5DS. Let's see. I haven't read the manga, but its ending I'd probably put in the F tier.
We're not. We don't look. Spin-offs are a different story. I'm mainly just talking about the main series.
Takahashi's
Mm-hmm.
main story that
Yeah.
the anime. I mean, I don't know. The anime actually expanded on a lot of things that the manga didn't do.
It
so
did.
Yeah.
That's one
Let's
thing.
For C tier, I would probably put like My Hero Academia in there, along with Fairy Tail's ending, which the last chapter of Fairy Tail is decent, but
You think that's decent compared to?
Oh, you are not talking about Fairy Tail in front of the Fairy Tail fanboy.
Damn, Blue.
let's see. Would you rank it a bit lower, like D?
I mean, okay.
Me, I wouldn't even vote it. I haven't read it 100%, so it would be. Jeez, yeah, that's a cheese.
I mean, look. Even though I love Hero as a manga, Fairy Tail for me is still like his third best when I compare to Raven, his latest series that just ended, which is Eden Zero. So there's that. Actually, you know what, Blue? This is a question for you. How does this ending compare to Eden Zero's ending? That's a question for you. I want to ask.
Where'd I put Eden Zero's?
I don't even think he's talked about it.
I think I'll put it in the B tier.
That's fair.
I think there's a lot of things that overall good of it, but I feel like Pino being the main center point and that ending felt a bit weird to me.
Yeah, and I mean, look, I'll still say this. You actually had a pairing confirmation in that one, too. Shiki and Rebecca got together, and they have a kid. So, take that for what you will.
So, yeah. I'll put that as like a B thing. Fairy Tail is probably more like C or D ranking in terms of endings.
Well, it depends on who you talk to, but Dragon Ball Z had a pretty satisfying ending. I wouldn't say it's S in any way, shape, or form, but
I think
with I don't know, with Goku flying away at the end.
No, that's GT.
Is that GT? I thought that was.
Oh well, no, you're talking about the ending, like the World Tournament. Yeah, no, it was him flying off with Oob at the end. So yeah,
yeah,
it'd be like the teacher to new student. Yeah.
Yeah, that one felt like, if we're talking that one, yeah, that one's a little weird. But Dragon Ball, now that ending that's a different one.
Let's see. Well, depending if you wish to count Z and Dragon Ball's ending as two separate endings, you probably put like Dragon Ball's ending in the A and Dragon Ball Z's ending in the bitsy B tier.
Yeah, B's fine with that. And you're talking about the literal original Dragon Ball where it was Goku from his kid to teen years.
Yeah, that's the one where I was like, that, like, I mean, okay, to be fair, I've always preferred Dragon Ball over Z, but not to say Z was.
I mean, to be fair, it just kept Dragon Ball throughout the whole manga period, so it wasn't like it.
My Hero Academia, I'll probably put in the C tier.
Yeah, maybe B. It's not as much as I'm complaining about it. If we had keep it at high C, then I guess right now. If you had that,
yeah, C or B tier, maybe a B potentially.
B minus C plus, depending.
I'd say the only way
it's too safe. That's all I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree.
Despite being a risk with Deku, it's too safe with everything else.
Yeah. I mean, I'll say this. I think it's got depending on what happened with the final volume. I'll say this: it's got potential to shoot up to an A. Potential. That's
a lot of. If it's in C, that's a big shift, man.
Right. That was a huge shift. Now, am I gonna bet on that 100%? No, obviously not. I think the closest you can get is B. Closest.
Yeah. Let's see. Space is questioning your too safe Mangareader.
Oh yeah, Mangareader, do elaborate on that.
It's too safe. Everything else was a certain extent. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's too safe because I mean, he didn't have the balls to just have Deku remain quirkless and do the teaching job full time or whatnot. I mean, obviously the pairing was too safe. There was no decision making on that.
On confirmation on that.
On confirmation. And frankly, I mean,
Honestly, do you think it's kind of
despite the talk of the ranking system, we actually have no idea who ranks where.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, like, with all the buildup with Deku and Ochiko, I mean, is it kind of odd you don't get anything out of it?
No payoff whatsoever.
I mean, like I said, the closest thing you get is like implications and like heavy hate from like 429. That's it.
Right.
And like just that one shot in the snow in the final chapter, which I mean, look, you want to know how this whole thing could have been resolved with Deku and Ochiko? Just show them holding hands. That's all you have to do.
Yeah.
Nothing much from that. Just show a scene where they're holding hands. That's all you needed.
I guess.
Doesn't need to be too complex.
So yeah. So So I would probably say for D tier, I'll put Fairy Tail, like the ending, the last chapter itself was for the most part decent, but what came before was, I don't know, not the best, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
Particularly how quickly Zeref was defeated, and then I guess even Acnologia.
See, here's the thing with Fairy Tail, though. A lot of it also hinges on the fact that you need Honey Request. Because if Fairy Tail had ended where it did, then I don't know, my opinion would be a lot different on Fairy Tail if we didn't have that.
It's got a redemption with a 100-year quest.
Mm-hmm.
Possible redemption. Now, in E tier, I'd probably put the manga's ending for Bleach.
Really?
Mostly because, well, a lot of it was rushed.
Why Bleach?
Well, a lot of it was rushed, kind of like cut thing, and it's like the last chapter felt like a very strange cliffhanger on, of like, oh hey, Ichiko's kid's a Soul Reaper as well, kind of thing. But yeah, and also like Chad felt kind of out of character with like his boxing thing. Let's see, but yeah. So, but granted, Bleach has a chance to redeem it, and also with how Jurabak was taken out.
Well, you also have to consider this. Kubo is actually working with the Studio Pierrot with anime. So that's saying a lot. Right?
Yeah, so granted, so Kubo has a chance to redeem himself.
Which, okay, I will say this, as far as 1,000-Year Blood War arc goes, I'm not up to date with the anime just yet, but from what I've seen, which I think is like, what, episode 6? They've been doing pretty good. From what
I won't spoil you, Luckychi, but I will say this. For many people, they fixed Squad Zero.
Ooh. Now
there are some fixes, but they also, removed some junk from the manga too. So
yeah, like the one thing I remember Kubo saying was that a lot of like the comedic aspects are like dissipated.
Yeah, some of those bits have disappeared as well as some panels, so that never really led to anything. And yes, Studio Pierrot's behind it, but granted, this seems to be the good team from Studio Pierrot.
The Bleach
team. The good team.
Yeah, it's basically, if anyone's worried, you basically got the Yu Yu Hakusho team behind it. So,
oh yeah,
yeah. Now for F tier, that would be Naruto and Attack on Titan.
I mean, this is going to be a shock for Blue. AOT I'd put in E tier.
You put in E tier?
And I'll say why. If the final pages of, oh my god, of parody getting blown up. Sorry to spoil Mangareader, but if that wasn't there, then I would definitely say it's F tier, because for a series like Attack on Titan to get that ending, I'm talking about when the chapter came out, to end it with that note, it's like, really? Like, that's what we're doing? But, you know, I mean, like I said, it doesn't fix the final chapter as a whole for Attack on Titan, but, I mean, it does prove a point I made, which is that, look, all this peace talk and everything, negotiations, that's not going to fly with Attack on Titan, and I was right.
Space is saying, I didn't think you guys would put Naruto ending so low. Well, to be fair,
I mean, okay, I'm not going to say I've warmed up to Naruto's ending over the years, but it's definitely, I'm more like unfazed by it at this point, because I'm just like, okay, it's there.
It's just an ending.
but yeah. Well, for Naruto,
Like, do I still have my disappointments about it? Sure, but like that's not going to change anything about,
well, I still hold pretty much a grudge against its ending, so that's just me.
Look,
but,
I don't.
If it means anything, its sequel is fairly irrelevant.
So, sorry, go on, Luckychi.
Oh no, I was just saying that like I've gone from like being egregiously pissed off about Naruto's ending to just being like, hell, it happened. Did it happen the way I think it would have happened? No, but it happened. I'll give it that.
Let's see.
It happened.
Well, for me, I'm still pissed off at it. I don't like the ships. I don't like the fact that a lot of it feels like it was built up towards making a spin-off with Boruto. I don't like how many of the characters were sidelined. Let's see. And frankly, even though the Naruto versus Sasuke's fight was decent, I feel like it was a bit too rushed, and I also feel like I got kind of sick or tired of just seeing only a Naruto and Sasuke fight towards the end. As it's like literally nearly every single battle involved those two characters. It's like, want some shine with the other characters. So, yeah. Oh, and the Kaguya twist was bad. Let's see. I might have been open towards it at first, but frankly, no. When I've learned the more behind the scenes stuff, I feel like, okay, and the more stuff comes after, yeah, I felt like this was just done just to create spin-offs with the Otsutsuki for Boruto. And to justify having a Hyuga kid for Naruto. Yeah, stuff like that. Frankly, but yeah. Now, granted, Attack on Titan, the difference with like Naruto and Attack on Titan for me, Naruto was, well, for me, it was a denial of like a slow dump to like finding that final chapter was a nail in the coffin. Well, Attack on Titan was, for the most part, pretty much staying good. Though, granted, in that final chapter just came out, I was like, what the heck just happened?
Look, you arguably Attack on Titan's final arc was proving that, yeah, shonen manga endings can have like a really like S tier final arc, and it was going for that for like ages. But then I don't know what Isayama did with the final chapter, but I'm like, well, so much for that belief.
It literally ended up becoming a manga version of Game of Thrones ending in terms of reaction.
And you know what's so ironic about that? Like, I remember him saying that, like, he understood, like, the reason why Game of Thrones ending was hated. And I'm like thinking, did you not just pull the same thing? You see, that's my thing.
Let's see. So yeah. So that was said, we'd see, arguably this tier thing could have been done for an entirely different stream. But I'll end this with like a question. Do you believe that Spencer says? Do you believe that My Hero Academia's ending ruins My Hero Academia as a whole?
No, and I did my whole tribute video thing, which I posted Sunday night, but I basically said this: the first saga of My Hero Academia, which is the UA Beginnings, that is, and to me that goes all the way up until the provisional license exam. I would say up until then, it's like perfection. And Blue knows where I'm going with this. The Rise of the Villain saga, even though I like overall the arc with Overhaul was great, but pacing wise, ugh. And I'm referring to manga, by the way. Anime is a different case, but manga wise, I was like, and I'll say where. Particularly where they got to the base. When they got to the base part of it, I was like, okay. We weren't going too, what's the word I want to use here? We weren't progressing too much. I'll say that. And also, like I said, compared to Mangareader and Blue here, I've been with My Hero practically since Chapter 7 came out. But basically, the Overhaul arc is kind of where Koei's health issue started to slowly creep up. It didn't get as bad as, say, how this final arc was turning out in terms of his health, but that's the early signs of when his health started to slowly deteriorate. And I say slowly. Best comparison I can give this. Think Kubo with Bleach. It's like that. But going a little further on this. So you go from that, which was great. Now, obviously, I'm big on Culture Festival. I know a lot of people are kind of just that arc's kind of just there. You had that Pro Hero arc. Joint Training arc, a.k.a. Blue Star's 10 out of 10 pure perfection arc.
Okay, no, I do not view that as that the case.
Perfection.
That's not how I view that arc, Luckychi. All right, I've told you 100 times. I admit I was wrong about that arc.
Joint training.
For anyone wondering how bad the podcast discussion was with me, Blue, and 4Life, just check out the podcast we did for Joint Training.
Yeah, I may have overreacted when making that joke. Nostalgia Critic said, "I'm getting the frick out of here."
That was such a golden period. That's the one benefit I love about that arc. It's just the discussion we had. But now I don't know how Mangareader felt at the time, but I'll say this: when it came to the whole 6 quirks concept, I wasn't rocking with it at first because we literally had no idea what they were going to do.
I was part of one of those streams.
Yeah.
I think that was the last one that 4Life was.
You mean
the Meta Liberation Army? Yeah, that's
regardless, wherever it showed up, wherever that idea that Deku was going to have more quirks. I think I was one of the people that actually was okay with it.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure what I had said was that, with how insane for
Mangareader?
With how what?
Mangareader.
Guys, we are left on a cliffhanger.
Mangareader!
Tune in next time on Dragon Ball Z.
Wait, how's this Dragon Ball? This is my hero. Let's see.
I clicked the mic off button.
Okay, I was tune in next time.
Shut up! I clicked the mic off button.
Yeah. Anyway, you were saying Mangareader?
Yeah, keep on going.
Yeah. Yes, I am here.
But go on.
Yes, I'm still here. I don't know. I clicked my mic off button on my mic for some reason. No, so what I was saying was the absurdity that All for One's multiple quirks were. I thought, Deku had a couple to mitigate the infinite struggle of one versus all was a little alright in my opinion. We didn't actually know at the time how OP any of the other quirks were. I kind of assumed they weren't going to be any more than what Black Whip was, which wasn't necessarily anything super outstanding to begin with, but maybe I had something different, but I'm positive I thought that none of the other ones were going to be anything that made him any more, overpowered. I think it was just going to be something that kind of helped his skill set.
Yeah, because like that whole discourse that went on at the time, like that was just nuts. But like I remember not exactly being super big on it at first. Like it's something I kind of warmed up to once we found out. Oh, they were more like utility based quirks, essentially. That's how
maybe I'm speaking in hindsight, but I'm pretty sure my thought process at the time was that they weren't going to really be anything over the top. So
yeah.
it is what it is on that, though.
Yeah.
I know For Life absolutely hated the idea.
Mm-hmm. He did.
Oh yeah, he would never stop talking. He'd never stop bringing it up when it came to me.
Yeah, he's got more quirks. Oh my god!
No, like again, guys, if you want the most Blue Star and For Life like rant, just go to that podcast.
But yeah.
But going back to what I was saying, just to wrap up my thoughts overall. So, Rise of the Villain Saga, it did take a dip. It wasn't huge, but it went from again perfection to arguably amazing plus, and not even amazing plus, just amazing. And I'll say why. The saving grace of that entire saga, getting Shigaraki's focus again with the Meta Liberation Army. That's one. And even though the whole Toya subplot thing was kind of something you saw coming, that was the other part of that whole saga that didn't work too. Was that the Paranormal Liberation War for the most part as a mid-war? Now, again, is it on like Marineford status? No. Obviously not. But you know what's gonna sad? You had more casualties there than this. That's saying a lot.
Casualties, yeah.
And even then, I still think, like, again, if I've got one big complaint about that arc, Gran Torino. And you can fill in the blanks there.
Yeah. For me, yeah, I'd say the first saga S tier. Let's see, the second saga B or A tier. Let's see, depending on how I feel.
I would like A minus tier. That's where I would put it.
Yeah, I mean, it has some very decent arcs, but also has a few let's see, not so decent arcs. And then let's see, the final saga, let's see, has a lot of there's a lot of individual parts I like. I feel like as a collective whole, it's a mixed bag.
I'll say this: the final saga, it had a great start. Like that Dark Hero arc was amazing, but the one thing holding that arc back, in my opinion, was how quickly we went from Deku being on his own to him reuniting with Class 1A. And I'm like thinking, if we had just expanded like 6 or 7 more chapters on like Deku really hunting people down and like really deconstructing like his thought process after running into All for One, I think that easily could have been like a 10 out of 10 arc. But that's just me. And then The Stars and Striper arc was really just a battle. That's really all that was. And then UA Trader arc. I don't know. Good? Maybe? That one I'm kind of lost on. And then the Final War, well. Yeah, I'm drawing a blank. So, I'd say the Final Act saga as a whole is like okay plus at best. So, if we're taking like all those sagas into account, I think My Hero as a whole, even with that, I would say still like an 8 out of 10 series. I would say. But what about you guys?
So was that
Wait,
last
what?
bit?
I was just saying that, like, I think even if the final saga was, had like a lot more downs than ups, like I don't think it takes away from how great the first two sagas were of the story. So,
Are you just talking about My Hero in general?
Mhm.
I mean, the story as a whole is fine. I mean,
Yeah.
even the ending isn't that bad, but
No.
I know what you're saying. I was listening to what you were saying, but obviously the question was, is the ending ruining My Hero or whatnot? No.
Which obviously isn't.
No, it's not. At least that's the question I'm assuming you were answering.
Uh-huh.
That's what Blue was asking. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there were some hits and misses. I mean, no manga's perfect.
No.
But I mean, from what I from what I heard you were talking about, I think obviously certain arcs could have had better expansion compared to other arcs that kept going for longer than they probably needed to.
Yeah. And I mean, look, like that even goes for like like classic series too. Like look, Yu Yu Hakusho is a legendary series, but I think a lot of people, I don't know about you, Manga Reader, but I know a lot of people can say the Three Kings saga could have been better handled. Yeah.
The last saga, obviously. Yeah. I mean, most endings kind of run on fumes to begin with.
Yeah.
And I don't know how Yu Yu Hakusho was ever really going to honestly top the Dark Tournament arc, but
Chapter Black was pretty close. I'll give it that, but
right.
Mm-hmm.
and as far as Hunter x Hunter goes, well,
It's stuck in limbo right now.
Yup. Togashi, I don't know what you're planning for that, but
He did so well with Yu Yu Hakusho that his deteriorating health has ruined him on, on freaking Hunter x Hunter.
Like, okay, for anyone curious, I'll just say this. We still haven't gotten to the Dark Continent. That's saying something.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, he does not like Dawn.
Poor Togashi.
Yeah. So,
I mean, okay, let me say this. Will Koei do another like manga series in the future?
probably.
I will say probably, but I will say this. I hope it's not a weekly series. Mainly because of what it's done for his health. Just for that reason.
That's like all mangaka.
Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah. Let's see. So that's probably like my mangaka. But anyway, Margarita, your thoughts? Does this ending ruin My Hero Academia for you?
I was just saying no.
Okay.
And I
You're
was,
right. Yeah, Togashi is being helped by his wife. There's that too.
Yeah. I can see Koei doing another manga or maybe returning to My Hero for something down the line, but I think he will probably try something at least.
Oh.
Blue sounds like he wants to head off.
Sorry, I'm looking at the time and it's getting a bit late as well. So I'm just going to end it with no, I do not think this ending chapter ends the series. I might have said this before in case I said oh yeah, I did actually. So but yeah. So just finish up what you were going to say, Luckychi.
I'll say this. If he does, when he does come back, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. When he does come back, would a monthly schedule work for him? I don't know. I'd rather it be a case where he gets the Sui Shida treatment, where he went from Tokyo Gold to now he's doing Chojin X. But the difference with Chojin X is that he's doing the chapters and he's releasing them on his own schedule, which I hope that's the kind of treatment he gets for his next story. That's what I'm going to say.
Okay, who knows? We'll have to wait and see. Granted, mangakas can be very stubborn with how they want to do their manga. As I think that is the case for many people, that despite saying for years for the Hunter x Hunter manga to just get someone else to draw it, he insists on drawing and writing it still despite his health conditions.
I mean, look, if Hunter x Hunter ends up where One Piece does, well...
If Hunter x Hunter ends before One Piece, then that means Oda had no idea what the ending was actually going to be.
For real?
Well, no, just that Oda just keeps having ideas, but yeah. Well, anyway, I think that pretty much covers it. Mangareader, Luckychi, thank you for joining me for the stream. Granted, it lasted an hour longer than I intended, so I'm probably going to end up being sleepy for work. So, but oh well, that is that. Farid Khan, Space, thank you for your comments and insights to this stream. I think some of your questions have been very helpful. So, yeah. And honestly, this is the final chapter of My Hero Academia review. Though, granted, there's still more stuff to My Hero Academia to discuss. But I think we'll take our time in discussing or reviewing it compared to the bi-weekly Switzy reviews that we've done with My Hero Academia.
I'll just say this. For anyone wanting more My Hero Academia content, well, I'll be the first to announce it. You're going to get a Season 6 podcast from me in the future, so look forward to that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And I'm sure Mangareader will be willing to join either you or me in discussing My Hero Academia down the line.
Mm-hmm.
If I have the opportunity, sure.
So, yeah. So, I am Blue Star Saber.
I'm Mangareader.
I'm Lucky Rave.
And this has been the final chapter review of My Hero Academia. Thank you for listening, everyone. Goodbye. Plus Ultra.
Plus Ultra.
Plus Ultra.
And with that, farewell, everyone.